Good afternoon, Nighthawk fans, and welcome to another edition of UNG Baseball here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Thomas Kendrick with you here with my broadcast partner, Chad Haney, who we will hear from later, as the Nighthawks are beginning another non-conference series, this time with another team from Florida, the Lynn University Fighting Knights, 5-3 on the series and on the season. The Nighthawks 6-1 so far on the young season. The Nighthawks, of course, coming off a series win against the number one team in the nation, Nova Southeastern, last weekend. And Chad, the Nighthawks looked pretty good. Took 2 out of 3 close games on the weekend. And what did you notice about this team that's going to make them special this year?
Yeah, certainly, Thomas, their toughness. Pulling out a 13-inning win on Saturday, a big walk-off, and then North Georgia had the chance to win the ball game and get the sweep on Sunday. I think if you told Coach Tom Cantrell heading into the weekend that, he'd already have the series clinched and you'd have a chance with a base hit to win the game and sweep on Sunday, that he would certainly have taken that. I know Coach Cantrell wasn't pleased with everything over the weekend, and I think that's a mark of a veteran coach. Certainly still early in the season, knows that this team has a lot to improve on. And just as he said numerous times, we haven't won anything yet.
Right. Certainly a good start to the season, the 6-1 record. The Nighthawks won Game 1 of that series last weekend by a 4-3 score. Game 2, of course, the 13-inning game that you referenced, 8-7. Connor Hoover, the hero in that game, a walk-off solo home run to left in the bottom of the 9th inning. And like you said, the Nighthawks had a chance to win the Game 3 to clinch sweep the series. Had the heart of the order due up, scored a run in that bottom of the 9th inning, but came up just short. And now facing another team in Lynn University from down in Florida. And what are you looking for the Nighthawks to continue to build upon the strong season in this series?
Certainly shoring up what Coach Cantrell wasn't pleased with from the Nova Southeastern series last weekend, and a handful of things that he got onto the team about in closed doors. Certainly, as he said, just because we beat the number one team in the nation doesn't mean that we're now the number one team in the nation.
Right, and
so certainly, North Georgia's a very good team. They can beat anyone in the country, but there's a lot of parity in Division II baseball, and they can get beat by a lot of teams as well. So you got to come out ready to play, and we'll see certainly how the response is this weekend playing Lynn. And
led by a lot of juniors and seniors in this lineup today, a couple to look for: Devin Gearhart, the leadoff hitter for the Nighthawks, a .382 average on the season, 3 and 4 hitters in the lineup. Michael Gouge, Trevor Sams had very good games last weekend as well. Also going to be led on the mound by a senior in Dylan Pepper. So we're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we will have the J.R. Kreider starting lineups at first pitch from Bob Stein Stadium here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
All right, who ate all the jalapeno rolls? Sam?
No.
Irresistible new King's Hawaiian Jalapeno Rolls.
I am a brother.
I'm a freshman.
I am an artist.
I am an entrepreneur.
I am a civilian.
I am a junior.
I am an ambassador.
I am a music teacher.
我是国际学生.
I am a commuter.
I'm an actor.
I am an intern.
I am a researcher.
I am a senior.
I am an athlete.
I am a veteran.
I am a sister.
I am a sophomore.
I am a singer. I am an educator.
I am a scientist.
I am a resident.
I am a writer.
I am a leader.
I am a cadet.
I am a volunteer. I am a musician.
I am a tutor.
We are UNG.
If you're looking to buy or sell your mountain home or cabin, lake or riverfront property, look no further than Walden & Company Realty. Work with some of the most knowledgeable agents around with Walden & Company Realty. For more information, visit waldenco.com.
J.R. Kreider's is a proud sponsor of North Georgia Baseball. J.R. Kreider sells Southern Tide, Peach State Pride, and many more apparel brands. They also sell men's and women's clothing, as well as Costa sunglasses and accessories. J.R. Kreider's is also home to the Yeti Lounge, where you can sit back and relax with snacks and drinks inside the store. Visit J.R. Kreider's just off the square in beautiful Dahlonega, Georgia, or on the web at jrkreiders.com.
And welcome back to Bob Stein Stadium. Clear skies overhead, sun out, setting toward Radar Ridge in the background. Will be a very nice day for baseball. No wind so far. The flag limp in center field. As we take a look at the starting lineups presented by J.R. Kreider on the historic Dahlonega Square. First for the visiting Lynn University Fighting Knights. Leading off, number 6, the shortstop Patrick Dorian. Batting second, number 3, the right fielder Willie Shea. Batting third, number 42, the DH Jaron Pinckney. Batting fourth, third baseman, number 17, Tyler Curtis. Batting fifth, number 14, the catcher today, Carl Ellison. Batting sixth, the left fielder today, number 7, Jake Rouse. Batting seventh, number 24, the first baseman, Jonathan Corbett. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 8, Miguel Ceballos. And batting ninth, number 1, the center fielder, Alex Turner. And we'll go ahead and set the defense for the Nighthawks. Across the outfield, left to right, Michael Gouge, Stephen Tomlinson, Connor Corbett. Left to right on the infield, Gearhart at third. Up the middle, a familiar combo, Connor Hoover at shortstop, Michael Bell at second, Trevor Sams at first. The catcher today, Andres Perez. And the pitcher today for the Nighthawks, number 9, right-hander Dylan Peppers. 1-0 record, an ERA of even at 2 on the season. 2 starts and 2 appearances, 9 hits, 4 runs, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 5 walk, and 12 strikeouts. And as we get ready here, Chad, what does Peppers have to do today to be successful and continue to build off the strong start he had last Friday against Nova Southeastern?
Certainly, as with every Friday starter in college baseball, you'd like them to pick some innings up so you don't have to get too deep into the bullpen early in the series. But just keep up what he's been doing. A very effective start coming off of, a season missed last year off of injury, and he's looked good so far.
Yeah, went 5.1 innings in that first game on Friday. Gave up a couple of hits, no runs, as the 2-0 pitch is hit down the third base line past Gearhart. It's over into the corner. Gouge is going to pick it up and get it back in, and that's a leadoff double for Patrick Dorian, who is batting .267 coming into that at-bat. Going to be his second double of the season, and that's how the Fighting Knights get it started against Dylan Peppers.
Yeah, Gearhart tried to make a little sliding stop there at third. I think he had a little hard time seeing it as well with the glare off the turf. This time of day is not easiest to see the ball there from the left side.
It's not easy to see anywhere in Bob Stein Stadium right now. Up in the press box, the sun in our eyes as well. Luckily, you've got a little bit of shade over there, not much, as I have the window up over here. As it's Willie Shea that steps into the box. 308 on the year. It's only his second start. 4 for 13 in some limited play so far this season. Does have 4 RBIs and two walks as well on the season. And his first pitch in for a strike. Peppers working from the first base side of the mound. Sets, checks the runner Dorian, who's yet to attempt a stolen base at second. And the 0-1 is hit in the air to center field. Tomlinson back into the shadows, able to make the catch. And tagging up is Dorian. He'll be on third with 1 away. As the Fighting Knights already with a runner in scoring position. And Chad, you've got a senior on the mound. You've got a good defense behind you. You know, what do you do in this situation if you're Peppers with such a good defense behind you to try to keep that runner at third and not allow the run to score?
Well, certainly would love to pick up a strikeout right here. Would be your best scenario, or a shallow fly ball. Obviously keeps the runner there. Be interesting to see something hit on the ground to the right side if tries to take off on a ground and go, or if he plays it more safe there at third.
And that's the first pitch in for a ball. And the 1-0 by Peppers is hit in the air to right field. Corbett back, still going back, and makes the catch right up against the wall. Tagging and scoring is Dorian, and that's how the Fighting Knights start the game off here against the Nighthawks. Of course, a very long trip for the Knights, almost over 700 miles to Dahlonega. And how important is it whenever you do go on those long, bus rides almost the entire length of 2 states to play. How important is it to go ahead and get a start like this?
Yeah, it's big. I mean, you saw for Nova Southeastern last weekend, busing up from Fort Lauderdale. I think probably the fatigue showed a little bit early in that first game. And North Georgia jumped out, got a good lead, and carried that momentum through the weekend. So certainly big for Lynn to set the tone early.
As that ball hit on the ground to short, Hoover able to scoop and throw to first, and that's going to do it for the Knights in the top of the first. But a good start for them, able to get a run, and nobody left as they had 1 hit in the inning. It's going to be Lynn University 1, the Nighthawks coming to bat here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Honey, would some Captain D's make you feel better?
Yeah.
When you love seafood this much...
Back again?
I hope it's just a clumsy phase.
It's gotta be D's. Anything's worth it for our new home-style flounder meal or double dozen shrimp. Also try our grilled menu featuring new Tuscan tilapia. For full meals starting at just $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
Hickory Prime Barbecue is a proud sponsor of North Georgia baseball. Hickory Prime offers multiple specials daily, including a barbecue pork sandwich, fries, and a drink for just $8. Winners of multiple national awards, the restaurant offers pork, chicken, beef brisket, ribs, and much, much more. Visit Hickory Prime Barbecue, open 7 days a week, just minutes from the Dahlonega campus of UNG off of Morrison Moore Parkway.
And back here to Bob Stein Stadium in the bottom of the first, the lineup for the home team today, the Nighthawks, 6-1 on the season. Leading off, playing third, number 14, Devin Gearhart. Batting second, at short, number 8, Connor Hoover. Batting third in left field, number 23, Michael Gouge. Batting fourth, playing first base, number 41, Trevor Sams. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 7, Michael Bell. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 25, Connor Corbett. Batting seventh, DH today, number 13, Joshua Profit, making his second start of the season. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 30, Stephen Tomlinson, and batting ninth, the catcher today, number 24, Andres Perez. And as we get this inning started in the bottom of the first, Chad, looking at that lineup, who sticks out for you today for the Nighthawks that really needs to come and be clutch at the plate for the Nighthawks to be successful today?
You look up top to bottom, and really batting average-wise, the Nighthawks have looked pretty good through the first 7 games of play. Just 3 players that aren't above 300. I think any coach in college baseball would take that. So I guess you could say you'd like to see Connor Corbett, the only player who's below 250, try to raise that average up a little bit. But, hey, get on base and see what happens. Certainly, I think your big key right here is getting base runners against a guy who has a 8.18 ERA entering the deck.
And that's something to keep an eye on in this series for this Lynn University team. Their team ERA over 5 at 5.09 on the season. So pitching staff hasn't had the best start yet. Nighthawks have been scoring a lot of runs, of course, this season, as they are over 60 runs scored on the season, only giving up 28. Next run they score will be 70.
Yeah. And you look at the top of the lineup, too, Thomas. 1, 2, and 3 holes producing 11 runs, and 13 runs so far this year in Gearhart, Hoover, and Gouge.
Definitely been the trio that has been leading for the Nighthawks. As the count is now 1-2 on Gearhart to start off the at-bat. Has 4 walks to go along with his 13 hits, so he's been on 17 times. 11 times that he's been on, he scored, or 7 of the 17 times he's been on, he scored 11, which shows that the Nighthawks so far this season have been able to drive in runners when they've had the opportunity. Gearhart back into the box after fouling that one off. The count's going to be a ball and 2 strikes. As Frank Grandinetti, the pitcher on the mound today, 1-2 is hit to short. It's going to be the third baseman, Tyler Curtis, making the pickup. He's going to throw to first, and that's going to be out number 1. It's going to bring Connor Hoover to the plate. .419 on the year, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, 5 walks as well. One of those 2 home runs, the walk-off in the 13th inning on Saturday, has been aptly named a hawk-off. Had a hawk-off on Saturday. And as we mentioned Grandinetti, 0-1 this season, an 8.18 ERA, 2 starts, 2 appearances, giving up 10 earned runs, 12 runs overall in 11 innings, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, and Chad, opponents hitting over 354 against him. So you've got high averages in the Nighthawks lineup. You've got a high opponent batting average given up by the pitcher. Do the Nighthawks need to be aggressive here, or do they need to continue their patience that we've seen from them so far this season?
Yeah, certainly. Just keep doing what you're doing, what's been successful. Just because you have a team coming in that's been giving up a lot of runs, don't change your strategy. As Hoover lifts one high and deep out to right, and go.
It got out of here, so Hoover, his 3rd home run on the season, and the Nighthawks quickly able to tie this ball game back at 1, and that ball stayed in the air a while and got way out of here for the Nighthawks. Wasn't like the line drive shot we saw him hit last Saturday, but, we'll take a home run with 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd as Michael Gouge comes to the plate. Gouge, .429 on the year, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs, 5 walks, and had quite a series last weekend for Nova Southeastern. As the first pitch in the at-bat to Gouge over the middle of the plate for strike 1. And Gouge was named the Steak and Shake Hawk of the Week.
Yeah. Nighthawk of the Week. Also the Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week.
Bringing in honors for the Nighthawks as he stepped into the number 3 hole in the lineup. That was vacated by Sam Tiedeback, who graduated from last season. And you saw the baseball team last season. You saw the lineup last season. The lineup this season as the 0-2 was ripped out to center field. And the catch is going to be made by Miguel Ceballos for out number 2. And looking at the lineup from last season and the lineup from this season, what do you think is going to help the Nighthawks whenever we get into Peach Belt Conference play with this lineup?
Now batting number 41, Trevor Sam.
Continuing what they're doing right now. Thomas, certainly, when you're scoring, as you said, almost 10 runs a game right now, you're doing something right. So, and that's not been against bad pitching either. North Georgia's faced some very good teams. Obviously, the top-ranked team and defending national champion in Nova Southeastern, and still put up a lot of runs against Nova. So, offense is looking very good. You hope that continues, but at some point, likely you'll have a dip, and just being able to find a way to win through those games will be the key to finishing atop the Peach Belt Conference or finishing in the middle of the pack.
And the Nighthawks have, as that 0-2 is ripped up the middle by Sams, another base hit. The Nighthawks have 2 more with Lynn after this, and then 4 more non-conference games before we head into Peach Belt Conference play. And for, maybe some fans that don't follow the Peach Belt Conference as much as others, what's really the difference when you go into conference play as opposed to non-conference play, that you see some of these games tighten up a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Peach Belt's a very good baseball league, so the competition week to week is going to get a little bit better, but the way Coach Cantrell schedules his non-conference, things don't really change that much because he plays a Friday, Saturday, Sunday set. That's what you're going to play almost every weekend in the Peach Belt. They're still not there completely. There's still a few single Friday games, Saturday doubleheaders. But for the most part, you're playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so getting the team into a routine early in the year, I think certainly helps things out.
As the 0-1 hit in the air to left center field by Bell, out to make the catch for out number 3 is Alex Turner, and that's going to do it for the Nighthawks in the bottom of the 1st. But Connor Hoover able to hit a solo home run in the 2nd batter of the game and tie this game up at 1. At the end of 1, it's the Nighthawks 1 and the Lynn University Fighting Knights 1 here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 Division II Baseball Championship. May 27th through June 3rd at the ballpark in Grand Prairie, Texas. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your seats today.
24 meals under $4, just like in 1934.
$4 was a lot in those days. That can't be right.
Oh, I was there. Back then, you not only got to choose from 24 meals under $4, you also got a shave, a shoe shine, and a new suit. Used to be called Steak and Shake and Shave and Shoe Shine and Suit. They even put it on the sign. Till it broke.
Is that a Steak and Shake suit?
Walter, did this look like a Steak and Shake suit?
Get 24 meals for under $4, only at Steak and Shake.
And top of the second inning here, Nighthawks able to tie the game up in the bottom of the first on a Connor Corbett solo home run. It's going to be 5-6-7 due up for Lynn University. Carl Ellison, Jake
Now batting number 14,
Rouse,
Carl
and
Ellison.
Jonathan Corbett. And as Ellison steps to the plate, senior, 417 on the year, 8 appearances, 6 starts, 7 for 24, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. And as the first pitch is lifted in the air to right field, Connor Corbett a couple of steps back and on the edge of the track, able to make the catch for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Peppers in the top of the second inning. Mentioned he had a very good game last Friday, 5.1 innings, couple of hits, couple of walks, but part of that 8-inning shutout effort for the Nighthawks until Nova Southeastern was able to get 3 in the top of the 9th inning. So he's looking to continue a strong start to the season as Jake Rouse steps to the plate. 290 on the year, the junior. Started all 8 games that Lynn has played so far this year. He has no home runs, but does have 10 RBIs out of the 6-hole, excuse me. And interestingly enough, Corbett in the 7-hole, the leader in RBIs for Lynn University so far this year, as Peppers quickly ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. And the 0-2 on the way. Hit into the hole between short and third. Gerhardt was guarding the line at third and was playing over a little closer to third than you might normally see a third baseman. And Rouse taking advantage of that, puts it through the hole between short and third.
Yeah, and you saw Gerhardt give a little turn there as he saw the ball go to his side. Wishing that he was in a different position after the ball was hit.
Interesting, he would be guarding the line. Rouse does have 2 doubles so far on the season, but part of that explanation might be 2 for 2 in stolen bases, so a speedster, so perhaps looking for a bunt, trying to cheat over in case the bunt was laid down. As now Corbett coming to the plate. 409 on the season, also the highest batting average in the starting lineup for Lynn. 4 home runs, 13 RBIs, all of this out of the 7th spot. As Peppers checks on Rouse over at third. Nighthawks do a good job of holding on runners as well. Andres Perez, part of the reason not a lot of teams run on the Nighthawks. 6'7", 240 freshman behind the plate, has an absolute gun of an arm, as we've seen so far this season, time after time. As the 0-1 missed low for ball 1. Peppers working from the stretch from the first base side, sets and delivers. 1-1, breaking ball was high. The count will run to 2 balls and a strike. And very close over there at first as Peppers, a really nice move, throw over and almost got Rouse, who was able to get back just in time. Two-1 is ripped back through the box for a base hit. Heading to second, Rouse into first with the 3rd hit of the game for Lynn is Jonathan Corbett, and that's going to bring Miguel Ceballos to the plate. Ceballos on the year, 269, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 7 and 8 hitters in the lineup are hitting 7 home runs for the Knights so far this year. And as the first pitch is bunted down the third base line, and Gearhart will pick that one up foul. Looking top to bottom in this Lynn University lineup, they're 5 for 6 in stolen bases so far this year, so a team that does run a little bit. Definitely the team we've seen so far this year that's going to run the most on the Nighthawks. Nova Southeastern didn't run a whole lot, neither did Carson Newman in the first series of the year. Peppers sets and delivers to 0-1. Fastball inside for ball 1. The count will run 1 ball and 1 strike. Tonight we mentioned 5 and 3 on the year, coming off a weekend homestead with Columbus State. Last weekend lost the first game 8-6 to the Cougars, but won the next 2. Was the 1-1 is bunted to the pitcher Peppers. A nice play, able to get the out at third, and that will be the second out of the inning. Peppers doing a nice job of fielding his position there.
Yeah, great job coming off the mound right there and getting the out at third. Was not too difficult as it was pushed down the third base line there, and certainly Sabelos not getting his job done.
As there's runners on first and second now with 2 away for the 9-hole hitter Alex Turner. Turner on the year 167. Started 6 games of the 80s played in. No home runs, 2 RBIs. Yet has picked up 2 walks as well. So does have an on-base percentage a little bit higher than his average. Scored 2 runs as well out of the number 9 hole in the lineup. Peppers quickly had no balls and a strike. Still working from the stretch as it seems like he has the entire ball game. And the 0-1 is ripped into right field. Over to pick it up as Corbett. He's going to get it in quickly, but the Knights are going to score a run. As coming in to score was Jonathan Corbett. Heading to third is Ceballos. And so Alex Turner able to pick up the second baseman for the Knights. And they quickly retake the lead 2-1 in the top of the second inning.
Be interesting to see how Peppers responds to the adversity right here, Thomas. Lynn hit the ball pretty well. 4 hits so far through 1 2/3.
Yeah, we thought they, with a 5 and 3 record, and as we mentioned, the ERA was a little bit high. I thought they might be a pretty good hitting team coming in to this game. They came in with 80 hits and 267 at bats. A lot of power. 13 home runs have been hit so far on the year, as they have a team batting average of 300 on the year. So certainly an offensive team that will match the Nighthawks hit for hit so far this season, or so far throughout the series. And it's a 1-0 fouled off down the third base line. The count will run even, a ball and a strike. And we could see very high scoring series this series. The Nighthawks, of course, got out to 36 runs in the first series against Carson Newman. Were able to score 14 in that midweek against Wesleyan. And then against Nova Southeastern, able to put up 19 runs. So scoring a lot this season, especially early in the non-conference. And like you said, against some teams with some pretty good pitchers. So could be a lot of fun. Could be a lot of excitement, a lot of back and forth baseball. Sure hope it's as good a series as it was last weekend.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, it's a 1-1. It's called a strike. Perez down to second with the throw. It was the center fielder, Alex Turner, who came off the bag.
Yeah, overslid it.
And the tag was applied, and the Nighthawks able to get out number 3, but the Fighting Knights able to get another run in the top of the second inning. We head to the bottom of the second with the Nighthawks down 2-1 here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
The UNG Campus Connection is your university bookstore. It's the one-stop shop where students can get anything they need for the classroom, and fans can find everything they need to support the Nighthawks, from shirts and jackets to car decals and tailgating chairs. Gear up at the Nighthawks Nest with officially licensed UNG merchandise. Visit our stores in Dahlonega, Gainesville, Oconee, and Cumming, or check us out online at ungbookstore.com. The UNG Campus Connection is a proud sponsor of North Georgia Athletics.
6, 7, 8 due up for the Nighthawks here in the bottom of the second inning. Corbett, Profit, and Tomlinson will face the Lynn University pitcher Frank Grandinetti. Gave up a solo home run to Connor Hoover in the bottom of the first, the third home run of the season for Hoover. As Corbett comes to the plate, 241 on the year, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Those 2 home runs came in the second game of the Carson Newman series as he had a 2 home run game. Sophomore getting every start and right for the Nighthawks so far this season. And it's the first pitch on the inside corner for strike 1. And other than the DH position in one game with the catcher, the lineup and the defensive lineup as well have been the same for the Nighthawks. As the 0-1 on the way, swung on a miss, strike 2. And in any sport, Chad, whenever you're able to have a lineup that pretty much stays the same throughout the season, you know, what kind of confidence does that give to those players that, you know, can come into a game and know what exactly their role is going to be in the game? As that ball is hit off the third baseman, and Corbett able to beat the throw, as that was Tyler Curtis trying to make the play. It'll be Corbett who will reach on an error. And he'll be at first with nobody out for Josh Profit.
Yeah, Thomas has got interrupted there a little bit by the error at third by Curtis. It's always good to have that consistency throughout the year. I think you see it a lot in baseball and softball as well, and liking to kind of have a regular lineup throughout the season.
First pitch strike there. And as we mentioned, the only 2 players who have not started every game, Andres Perez, that midweek game with Wesleyan, Southern Wesleyan, didn't get the start.
Yeah, that's a typical exception too. The catcher's going to get some days off.
And a new DH at the plate. Josh Profit, as we mentioned, only 1 start on the season, has only appeared in 4 games. Is 2 for 6 with a .333 on-base percentage. Has yet to hit a home run, but does have 2 RBIs. And as we've seen 3 DHs so far this season, Anthony Carco getting the opening day start. We also saw Josh Peterson some last series against Nova Southeastern, and now Profit getting the start in this game as well. And the first pitch high and away for ball 1.
Yeah, always interesting when you have a handful of newcomers, especially some with some great talent, like Michael Gouge, who's a graduate student transfer in to North Georgia. And you have a guy in Josh Profit who had a great freshman season and really an everyday player almost last year, and now gets designated into another role and not playing every day. See how he reacts to that.
He has a count 2-1 on Profit. Played mostly in left and center field last year. And Coach Cantrell with a very deep team this year. We really haven't seen Profit too much in the field. It's always been Cal Dempsey who comes on as an outfielder for the Nighthawks in the defensive role. So as the 2-1 is fouled back to the screen, count running to 2-2, as Profit has really been thrust into almost a pinch hit and a pinch running role for the Nighthawks, with a chance here today, perhaps with a good performance, to try to solidify his place in the lineup as a DH. As count 2 balls, 2 strikes, Stephen Tomlinson on deck, Andres Perez in the hole. Another one of those newcomers. Let's talk about Perez, the freshman. Very good hitter at the plate, very good defensively behind the plate. Of course, has a 2-2. He has hit into no man's land between shortstop and left field, but out to make the catch for Lynn is Patrick Dorian for out number 2, and that's going to bring Stephen Tomlinson to the plate. Tomlinson, 292 on the year, a homer, 4 RBIs, does have a double, 6 runs scored and 4 walks. So a very productive hitter at the bottom of this lineup. And I think the case of Stephen Tomlinson sure shows just how deep this lineup is this year. Was the everyday number 5 hole hitter for the Nighthawks this year, bumped down to the 8th spot.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
As he steps into the box, righty-righty matchup. Corbett still on first, reached via an error to start the inning off. And the throw over, and Corbett is back safely. Tomlinson, a .347 hitter last year. Nighthawks will hope he can replicate that out of the 8 hole. If that is the case, then could be a very good, very successful season for the Nighthawks. Made it to the Peach Belt Conference tournament last year. Didn't make it out of group play, but did have a 2-1 record, including beating the number 1 overall seed, Columbus State.
Yeah, actually really won the group, but idiotic tiebreaker kept North Georgia out of the championship game.
Yeah, as it was a 3-way tie between them, Georgia College and Columbus State, and Columbus State advancing because they were the highest seed in the pool.
Yeah. Which defeats the whole purpose of having a tournament.
As a count, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Corbett a lead off of first. Tomlinson awaiting this 1-1 pitch. And before the pitch, throw over by Grandinetti, as Corbett is yet to attempt a stolen base this year.
Tournament format did change back this year, though. Just a classic double elimination.
Much the way the SEC plays theirs.
A little
as
different,
the
but
1-1 up the middle. And so runners on first and second with 1 away, as Andres Perez will come to the plate. Freshman hitting .304 on the season, a homer, 2 RBIs. That lone home run coming in Game 2 against Nova Southeastern in the first game of that series to make it a 3-0 lead, and was able to hit it out to left field, but very impressive for the freshman. .304 on the season so far. And really, when you come into college athletics from the high school level, just how much of a change and how impressive is it that he's been able to gel so quickly?
It's impressive, but, I wouldn't say that's surprising. When you look at Andres Perez, he doesn't look like a freshman, first of all. And then also, certainly, the baseball lineage that he has. I don't think there's any surprise that he's having success early in his freshman season. A guy that was drafted out of high school. So
as the 0-1 is ripped down the left field line, that ball's going to get out of here, and it's a 3-run home run for Andres Perez, and that's going to get the Nighthawks the lead back. Just as we were talking about how impressive he has been at the start of the season, takes an 0-1 pitch and puts it over the wall in left field, and so the Nighthawks able to get back on top by a 4-2 lead, and now lineup is going to flip, and Devin Gearhart going to come back to the plate. Gearhart 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to third his first time up. Yes, Perez once again able to attack a fastball. Saw that last weekend and did the same thing right there. And that ball got out of here in a hurry and showed pretty impressive power for a 6'7" frame.
Yeah, he did. Really a line shot that didn't get much higher than the billboards that stand out. Just about another 6 feet higher than the 8-foot fence here at Bob Stein Stadium.
Yes, the Nighthawks with 2 home runs so far in this ball game. And Gearhart behind in the count 0-1. The 0-1 on the way. caught the inside corner fastball. Count will run to no balls and 2 strikes. And it was the second home run of the season for Perez, as that ties him with Connor Corbett for second on the team. The Nighthawks 3 players with 3 home runs: Michael Gouge, Connor Hoover, who hit his third today, and Michael Bell, the second baseman. As the 0-2 is ripped into the gap into left center field, that's going to get down and get to the wall. Gerhardt on his way to second, and the success continues for the Nighthawks here in the bottom of the second, as Gerhardt a 1-out double, and that's going to bring the aforementioned Hoover to the plate. 1 for 1, hit a solo home run to right his first time up, and Hoover hit from a couple of places in the lineup last season. Hit leadoff some, hit second, hit down in the order 6th and 7th. Do you like him in the 2-hole, the way he hits, or would you like to see him dropped in the lineup or leadoff? Or?
Yeah, I think he's good in the 2-hole, certainly from his run-producing ability, but also from his on-base percentage. One of the most disciplined hitters in the Peach Belt Conference. Led the league in walks his freshman year. Was on up there in the national.
Number 8.
Yeah, 8th nationally in walks as well. So certainly great to have him in the 2 spot. And you talk about this lineup, Thomas, and how great it is when you have so much depth up and down the lineup, when you can have a guy like Andres Perez in the 9-hole who's hitting above 300, has some power, but can hit for average as well. And it's something that Tommy LaRussa loved, having a great hitter in the 9-hole to turn around the lineup, and it's a luxury that Tom Cantrell has this year.
Connor Hoover.
As Hoover, the lefty, going to step in the box against Grandinetti. Mentioned the Nighthawks needed to try to build on their offensive performances from early in the season, and have been able to do so. 4 runs on 5 hits, not committed an error so far in the game. 2 runs, 4 hits, and an error for Lynn University. As the first pitch is fouled off down the third base line, and the count will run to no balls and 1 strike. As Grandinetti, we mentioned, had a high ERA. This Lynn University team had a high ERA as a team as well, over 5.00 ERA. So giving up almost 5 runs a game. The Nighthawks already to 4 here in the bottom of the second. As the 0-1, once again fouled off down the left field line. A little further into foul territory, but will get down as it hits off the bullpen area, and the count will run to no balls and 2 strikes. It's a nice day here in Dahlonega, barely a cloud in the sky. Mid-60s, getting up into the 70s here today, and going to be a nice weekend all weekend long. A chance of rain tomorrow, but Sunday we'll have an absolutely beautiful day for baseball. We'll have that one here on the Nighthawk Sports Network as the game time for that one.
4 o'clock tomorrow. Got changed to 4. Was originally scheduled for 1.
4 o'clock start today, 4 o'clock start tomorrow, and then high noon on Sunday for getaway day for Lynn. And looking at the schedule, the Nighthawks will play a tournament next weekend, play Quincy, Florida Tech, and Albany State. As we have a tournament going on as far as softball goes again this weekend, the Captain D's Classic to be played down at the softball complex.
Much shorter tournament, thankfully.
We had a Friday, Saturday, Sunday Steak and Shake Classic.
13-game tournament
this weekend.
Last weekend compared to just 6 games this week.
So a little bit less stress.
Yeah.
Had a lot of extra inning games in that tournament last weekend as well.
A handful. A lot of long games. We were off schedule every single day.
As the 0-2 is ripped by the first baseman, Corbett, into right field, rounding third, heading home, and scoring is Gerhardt. And the Nighthawks take a 5-2 lead. As it's Connor Hoover once again coming through for the Nighthawks. Has a homer and a single so far in the game. And that'll bring Michael Gouge to the plate. Gouge 0 for 1, lined out to center his last time up.
Number 23, Michael Gouge.
Mentioned had a good weekend last weekend, was named Peach Ball Conference Player of the Week. So wind now picking up, blowing right to left a little bit in. And before the first pitch to Gouge, Grandinetti will check on Hoover over at first. Hoover is 1 for 1 on stolen base attempts last year, and as the first pitch to Gouge up and in for ball 1. Nighthawks team would call them a running team, but they're not a traditional try to steal second type team. Coach Cantrell likes to use the hit and run a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, won't go after a stolen base quite as much, but put runners in motion, and also aggressive at times, I would say, with once the ball's put in play. Not always. Won't see a whole lot of doubles stretched out into triples, but as far as sending guys home on a close play, I don't think there's any doubt that Tom Cantrell doesn't mind taking those chances every once in a while.
So we saw that very scenario happen with the Connor Hoover single. That ball was hit hard into right field, and the right fielder, Shea, was able to get over there quickly, sent Gearhart anyway. He was able to score easily. And the Nighthawks, 1 run in the bottom of the first, already have put up 4 here in the bottom of the second, but not done yet as they count 3-0 on Michael Gouge. Runner on first is Connor Hoover. As the 3-0 on the way to Gouge. Fastball caught the inside corner for strike 1. The count will run to 3 balls and a strike. As the Nighthawks have already batted through the order once. A couple of home runs in the game. The headline so far, Connor Hoover, a solo home run to right in the first. Andres Perez earlier in this inning, a line shot out to left. As the Nighthawks have now hit 15 home runs on the season. A lot of power up and down this lineup. And the guy at the plate has been the biggest producer for the Nighthawks. 15 RBIs. Leads the team. 6 doubles as well. Leads the team as well. As the 3-1 on the way as fouled off down the third base line. And the count will run to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Gouge was featured on Hawk Talk this past week. Thomas, you can find the podcast version on ungathletics.com. Good conversation there with the voice of the Nighthawks, Craig Corbin.
As before the 3-2, Grandinetti throws over to first. As the Nighthawks have really been able to bother him so far in this game. No stolen bases to date, but runners getting good leads and very smart as well. As the 3-2 is ripped into the hole between short and third, and that's going to send Hoover to second, Gouge to first with his first hit of the ball game. And that's going to bring Trevor Sams to the plate, 1 for 1 with a single. Sam's the other big producer in this lineup for the Nighthawks. Only 1 home run so far on the season, 13 RBIs, 2 doubles. So 10 of his 13 hits this season have been for singles, but still getting the job done, and is especially good in situations like these where has a runner in scoring position. Yeah, Sims steps out of the box as time was called by the catcher Ellison. And now Grandinetti back on the mound for the Knights. And the first pitch is hit down to third, and Curtis will go to Ceballos, over to Corbett at first, and around the horn double play will do it for the Nighthawks in the bottom of the second, but they're able to put 4 runs on the board and take a 5-2 lead as we head to the top of the third here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving. Thank you.
Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for helping me be a Nighthawk.
And we're back here at the top of the third inning. Dylan Peppers back on the mound for his third inning of action. Single runs given up so far in the first and the second innings. And due up for the Knights in this inning, it will be the leadoff hitter Patrick Dorian, followed by Willie Shea and Jared Pinckney. Dorian was up to the plate when Alex Turner was cut down at second to end the top of the second inning, as he had the base stolen and then overslid the bag, and Perez, a very nice throw, was able to gun down the center fielder for the Knights. As Peppers delivers a first pitch that is fouled off to the screen. The count will run no balls and a strike.
It was kind of funny, Thomas. There was a runner at third. Perez had waited on his throw to look back the runner at third, and then threw down and thought, oh, there's no way you're going to get the guy. And, well, freshman got it right. Overslid on the turf. First game playing at Bob Stein Stadium for Lynn University, and sure enough, runner overslid and had the easy tag out.
Yeah, and shows the maturity as a catcher not to go ahead and give up on that play, but just go ahead and make a nice complimentary throw down to second anyway, and it paid dividends for the Nighthawks. As the count is now a ball and 2 strikes. And Dorian doubled his first time up. Doubled, and was able to come around and score on a sacrifice fly by Jaron Pinckney. And on once again there for the Knights, as he's able to single through the right side. And that's going to bring Willie Shea to the plate. 0 for 1, a fly out to center so far in this ball game. As the leadoff hitter is reached in the first inning, the number 2 hitter, Jake Rouse, able to single and come around to score in the top of the second inning. So Pepper's already working from the stretch. And the first pitch for the 0-1 is hit down to first. Sam's a nice play to tag and throws to Hoover at short. And that will be the 3-6 double play. Sam's able to make a nice play as that ball was hit close to the bag. Made the tag of first base, threw a strike down to Hoover, who was able to tag out Dorian. And so the Nighthawks able to get a double play and erase that leadoff hitter making it on. And that's going to bring Jaron Pinckney to the plate. Hit a sacrifice fly to right his first time up. And the 0-1 on the way from Pepper, swung on and missed. Count will run to no balls, 2 strikes. Pinckney out of the number 3 hole in this lineup, 308, 2 homers, 6 RBIs on the season. As Pepper's attacking, the 0-2 was in the dirt. Count will run to a ball and 2 strikes. As Peppers has given up 2 runs early so far in this game. Mentioned went at 5.1 scoreless against Nova Southeastern, as the 0-2 is ripped into right field for a base hit. And that will be the 6th hit of the game for Lynn. Peppers only gave up 2 hits in that game against the number 1 team in the nation. Has already given up 6 today and only walked 2, struck out 7. as he's yet to record a strikeout today, so it shows just how good of a hitting team this Lynn University team is. That's going to bring Tyler Curtis to the plate. And the first pitch to Curtis is ripped into the gap into right center field. It's going to be Corbett who picks the ball up. He's going to get it in quickly, but the throw missed the cutoff man as it looked like Hoover slipped. Coming around to score is Pinckney. And Lynn able to get another single run so far here in the top of the third inning, but it will be Tyler Curtis on second.
And Thomas, I'm not sure if he slipped or if the sun got right in his eyes, because it was kind of directly in his eyes, and it looked like almost he just kind of got out of the way as he lost the ball.
Yeah, and that will certainly be an issue for the batter's eye right now at this time, and also anybody that's playing to the right side of the infield and the right fielder Corbett can see the shadows really will affect this ball game. And Corbett was right over there, it looks like, in that little patch of really sunny part of that field, as we'll have the freshman catcher Perez walk out to talk to Peppers. And that's going to bring Carl Ellison to the plate. Ellison flew out to right to start the top of the second inning. Now the Lynn 3 runs on 7 hits, Nighthawks 5 runs on 7 hits, so both teams really hitting the ball in the early going of game 1 so far. Already 14 hits in this game 1, just a little bit of something to throw out there. Only 14 total hits in the entire ball game with the first game against Nova Southeastern last weekend, so already a different ball game, as Michael Holder going to go out and talk to Peppers as well. Do have action down in the North Georgia bullpen.
And pretty wild, Thomas. I mean, for 7 hits and we're in the 2 outs into the third inning, Peppers has only thrown 37 pitches.
Yeah, so Lynn University, they've really come out aggressive.
They're aggressive. I mean, there's been a lot of first pitch rips out into the outfield.
Yeah, we knew they'd be a good hitting team coming in, as their team average is right around the 300 mark, but really been impressed with how they've hit the ball. They haven't tried to pull it, haven't tried to do too much with it. They've been taking it the other way and hitting gap to gap instead of trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Absolutely. Certainly taking what they can get in every at bat and doing it early. So again, just 37 pitches here for Peppers, and Knights have 7 hits already.
And usually, whenever you see a team putting the ball in play, you're usually pretty happy with your pitcher, but and it doesn't seem like Peppers is missing his spots. And Lynn University just hitting the ball, for lack of a better word.
Out of those 37 pitches, 38 now. He's thrown 29 strikes, so he's not missing the zone. Just some aggressive hitting, and they've been hitting them where they ain't, as you like to say.
Yeah, it's the 1-0 from Peppers. Tried to drop a breaking ball in there. The count will run to 2 balls and no strikes.
Guess that was a bit high because it had the plate.
Kind of hard to, usually you try to look at something like that based on the catcher, but kind of hard to do that with Perez behind the plate, as he's such a big target. As that one missed in the dirt, and the count will run to 3 balls and no strikes. Peppers has gotten 2 outs, got 2 outs early in the inning, but rather quickly finding Knights able to put a run on the board, a single by Jared Pinckney, and then Tyler Curtis, it seemed like 1 pitch later, with an RBI double to right center. As that 3-0 missed somewhere around the plate, and the count, well, that'll be a walk for Ellison, and that'll bring Jake Rouse to the plate. Singled his last time up and was able to score.
Yeah, count was 4-0 as he took the walk down to first there. But 3 of those pitches, Thomas, were borderline strikes. So tough break for Peppers.
Yeah, it looked like pretty good pitches. As first pitch down and in for strike 1, and a couple of those in that last at bat looked a little bit better than that one at the end, to be honest. But that's part of the game, I guess, as a pitcher is trying to find the zone of the umpire, and something that is a debate that's ongoing in baseball as the 0-1 is fouled back to the screen. Major League Baseball perhaps toying with somehow trying to toy with umpires and their zones, have mentioned widening the zones to try to get games to go quicker. So something to pay attention to, and not really sure how you would do that, because you do have the human factor in the game, and so it's really fascinating to watch that human factor with things such as calls in replay and also with strike zones as well. As it counts a ball and 2 strikes, Peppers working from the stretch, runners on first and second. 1-2 was fouled off down the left field line. And also another thing, not too many swings and misses from this Lynn University lineup so far today.
Certainly make contact.
As we mentioned, Peppers had 7 strikeouts against the Sharks of Nova Southeastern last weekend. Here into the 3rd inning is yet to record a strikeout as well. As he came into this game with 12 strikeouts on the season in 9 innings, so certainly has some good stuff and is able to hit his spots and, averaging over a strikeout an inning. But just hasn't been able to make that perfect pitch so far with 2 strikes on the batter, as the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes on Rouse. And that 2-2 was hit into the hole between short and third. Gouge quickly up and throws it in, and Gearhart let that one run all the way to the plate, but was not in time. And another run scored, this one by Tyler Curtis. As Jake Rouse able to drive in a run, scored a run and driven in a run today so far. Runner still on first and second with 2 away. And now we're going to have a Wendy's call to the bullpen as Michael Holder going to come out, and we will tell you about that change on the other side of this break here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 Division II Baseball Championship. May 27th through June 3rd at the ballpark in Grand Prairie, Texas. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your seats today.
And the Wendy's call to the bullpen, answering that call, number 17, Derek Pickford. Right-handed sophomore, 6'3", 175 out of Cumming, Georgia, and West Forsyth. Pickford so far on the season, 1-0 record, 1.42 ERA. He's made 3 appearances, all of them out of the bullpen. 1 save, 6.1 innings. Has only given up 1 earned run in those 6.1 innings. Has walked 3 and struck out 3. 1 double, the only extra base hit. Opposing teams hitting 143 against him. A fastball, breaking ball type of guy. Not going to overpower you, but he does hit his spots very well. As he made an appearance in Game 1 of that Nova Southeastern Series last weekend. Threw an inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, none of them earned. No walks, a strikeout, as he was able to pick up his first save of the season. And will now be asked to play a little bit of a different role here as Dylan Peppers unofficially 2.1 innings in this ball game.
He has been on point this year with 2 outs, Thomas. Batter's 0 for 5 against Pickford. Went up with 2 outs so far this year.
Part of the reason perhaps that Coach Cantrell decided to bring him in this situation. Lynn University, 2 runs in this inning, has cut the lead to 5-4. As the first pitch from Pickford has ripped down the third base line foul. And the count will be no balls and a strike. This is Jonathan Corbett at the plate, 1 for 1, a single. He was cut down at third for the second out of the inning on a failed bunt attempt by Miguel Ceballos last inning. And the 0-1 missed inside for ball one. The count will be a ball and a strike. As Peppers had his stuff today, but just outdone by this Lynn University team. Already picked up 8 hits in this ball game and have seen 4 runners cross the plate. As a 1-1 on the way. Fastball over the outside corner for strike 2, and the count will run to a ball and 2 strikes. The Nighthawks do have a left-hander up in the bullpen behind Pickford. Can go multiple innings for the Nighthawks. Mentioned he went only 1 inning. As the 1-2 is swung on and missed, and that will do it.
0 for 6, batters are. Went up with 2 outs against Eric Pickford.
As comes in and gets the 3rd out of the inning, and the Nighthawks will take a 5-4 lead to the bottom of the 3rd here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
I've been a loyal Clipper customer for years now. I can say this is the most exciting thing they've rolled out with in a while, the Clippers Fuel Savers card. Now I'm saving 10 cents at the pump every time. Thanks, Clipper.
J.R. Criders is a proud sponsor of North Georgia Baseball. J.R. Criders sells Southern Tide, Peach State Pride, and many more apparel brands. They also sell men's and women's clothing, as well as Costa sunglasses and accessories. J.R. Criders is also home to the Yeti Lounge, where you can sit back and relax with snacks and drinks inside the store. Visit J.R. Criders just off the square in beautiful Dahlonega, Georgia, or on the web at jrcriders.com.
And back here to the bottom of the 3rd inning, the Nighthawks have 5, 6, 7 Bell, Corbett, and Profit due up in this inning as went to the top of the 3rd with a 5-2 lead, but the Fighting Knights of Lynn University able to get 2 runs. And so it's a 5-4 game as we head to the bottom of the 3rd, and a game that has seen a run scored in every half inning so far. Lynn University's scoreline looks like this: 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. Nighthawks 1 in the 1st and 4 in the 2nd, as we surmise this might be a little more of an offensive ball game than we saw in game 1 last weekend, and so far has not disappointed.
Certainly not, and while I hope we maintain the lead, I'd be happy seeing some zeros start to pop up on the scoreboard in the interest of time.
Certainly, as we're about an hour into this ball game in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Of course, we had a...
Could be a lot worse. Thankfully, Lynn's been very aggressive, and we've been fairly aggressive as well. He's just up to 43 pitches right now. Grandinette, I believe is how you pronounce his name, Thomas. Is that correct?
Yeah, Grandinette.
Yep.
Had an 8.18 ERA coming into this ball game, so Nighthawks only 3 runs away from matching his average of runs given up so far this season. As he's now given up 15 earned runs in 13 innings.
Yeah. Yeah, already above that right now.
As the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 on the way to Bell. And it hit him. And so he will head down to first base as he's able to reach on the hit by pitch. And that'll bring Connor Corbett to the plate. Reached on an error and scored his last time up. So he's 0 for 1 on the day. Part of a 4-run inning for the Nighthawks last inning. Came in to score on that Andres Perez 3-run home run to left. As Bell on second, yet to attempt a stolen base. But that doesn't mean that Coach Cantrell might not have plans for him. As the first pitch to Corbett down and away for ball 1. And the count will run to a ball and no strikes. Corbett in the 6th hole 2 home runs so far on the season, and talking to those around the program, they say that he has immense power as a right fielder. Like to see that out of your corner outfielders. In today's game of baseball, like to see a lot of power. Of course, the Braves, who will begin play in the regular season at a new ballpark in April, have a couple of really good corner outfielders as far as power goes. Nick Markakis in right, Matt Kemp in left. As the 1-0 is fouled back to the screen, and the count will run to a ball and a strike.
Corbett just 1 for 13 this year, Thomas. A 0.77 average with runners on base. See if he can improve upon that.
Runners on have been a little bit of a struggle for him. As the 1-1, before the 1-1, we'll have a throw over to Chuck Bell. Had 3 hits last series against the #1 team in the nation. Had a double that was almost a triple, but he tripped coming around second and ended up with a double. But, 3 hits in that series, certainly a pretty good series. As the 1-1 swung on and missed, nasty breaking ball over the outside corner, and the count will run to a ball and 2 strikes. As you'd like to see a positive at bat from him here. Try to keep something, if it's going to be on the ground, hopefully soft enough to where you can't turn the double play, but would like to see him, hit something to the right side perhaps and try to get that runner over to second. Corbett getting the signs from Coach Cantrell at third. Step back into the box with the DH Josh Profit on deck and center fielder Stephen Tomlinson in the hole. 2-2 on the way. Breaking ball in the dirt outside for ball 3. And we say in the dirt proverbially here at
You do, in the turf.
Bob Stein Stadium, as all turf stadium except for the pitching mound. And something you don't see, the track itself as well is all dirt. All turf. The only dirt you see are where the pitching mounds are in the bullpen and the pitcher's mound in the field. There's a collection of fields here at Dahlonega that have turf on them, soccer field turf, softball field turf, and this one as well.
Entire UNG athletic complex back in 2014 was all converted to field turf.
So that ball popped up on the infield. The catch made by Ceballos for out number 1. And what was the thinking in perhaps switching over to the turf instead of the traditional fields here in Dahlonega?
Yeah, drainage was really bad, really at all 3 fields. I know Tom Cantrell told me that there would be some times when it would rain where they couldn't play for 4 days, even 4 days after rain. And that can really take a toll on, not just your games played. That's not as big of a deal, obviously. But in your practice, when you have 3-4 days in a week, when you can't go out and practice just because it rained really hard one day, which we get in Dahlonega quite a bit, that takes a toll on you.
Yeah, certainly some crazy weather patterns happen here in Dahlonega. A lot of the local residents like to joke about that. Only in Dahlonega, see some crazy stuff. It'll be snowing one day, and then 3 days later you'll have 70-degree weather. So certainly the addition of the turf fields and the way it's laid out here with the soccer field at really the top of the complex, and then you have the baseball at the middle, and then softball all the way at the bottom. So certainly a different layout. Perhaps they're not all flat. They're all in different levels as well. Would certainly help to contribute to that as well. As the count is 1-1 on Josh Profit, and the 1-1 on the way swung on a miss. Count will be a ball and 2 strikes.
Softball, sorry Thomas, actually may have been our first year with the turf. We had 4 inches of snow on a Friday, and then next day turned around, they came out, shoveled it, and played ball.
Part of that snow pattern that came through, and there were 2 of them that year that let down substantial amounts of snow here in Dahlonega, but it seemed like it would snow the one day and then it'd be 50 degrees and warm the next. So just part of living life here.
It wasn't quite 50 degrees, but
it was a little bit warmer. A little bit warmer. As the 2-2 is fouled off down the left field line. As mentioned, Profit 0 for 1 has only started one game so far this year. Before that, pump out to short was hitting .333 on the season, so he's 2 for 7 now with 2 RBIs and does not have a walk so far this season. 2-2 outside for ball 3. The count will run to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hits from the left side of the plate. And one of 2 left-handers in what is a dominant right-handed lineup for the Nighthawks. Number two hitter Connor Hoover, left-hander. Josh Profit also left-hander. Interestingly though, all 9 players that play in the field for the Nighthawks, all right-handers, are those that started, including the starter Peppers, as called out on strikes was Profit, but heading down to second is Michael Bell. He'll be there with 2 away for Stephen Tomlinson, who was able to single back in the bottom of the second inning and came around to score on the Andres Perez home run. As Tomlinson now closer to that 300 mark.
Yeah, he's at 320.
So popped up above that 300 mark with that single. As he was one of the few players in the lineup below 300, so he's now over 300 for the season. A couple of players came in, the 2, 3, 4 hitters that we mentioned came in with averages over 400 on the season as well. So certainly speaks to the depth of the lineup as we will have a meeting at the mound. And Carl Ellison out to talk with Grandinetti.
George and Jerry talking out of the bump.
Certainly some fun times had here in Bobstein and really at all North Georgia athletic events. Have a lot of fun with the opposing team as well. One sound you'll hear a lot of is the Hawks screeching for the Nighthawks whenever they do something well, like Tomlinson did right there as he hit the ball down the left field line. It's going to stay fair, and coming in to score is Michael Bell. He will plate the 6th run of the game for the Nighthawks, and into second with a second hit of the day is Stephen Tomlinson.
There's the Hawk 'em.
And we've heard that a lot at baseball games so far this season with the Nighthawks with a 6-1 record.
Nigel loves to see the Nighthawks score, Thomas.
As do we. As Andres Perez comes to the plate, 1 for 1 with a 3-run line shot to left his last time up. Be looking to hopefully replicate that, if nothing more than get on base. Base hit here would give Tomlinson a good chance of scoring from second. First pitch, breaking ball down over the outside corner for strike 1. As Perez on the season, up to 8 hits. 2 of those have been home runs, 2 of them doubles, 1 triple. So doing it in all extra base hit departments so far this season as before the 0-1. Brandonette will look back Tomlinson at second. And you like the big frame from the catcher, but at the same time also gives the pitcher a lot of area to work with as far as the strike zone goes.
Yeah.
0-1 over the heart of the plate for strike 2, and Perez quickly finds himself down, no balls and 2 strikes as there are 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Nighthawks already a run across in this inning to extend their lead to 6-4. 6 runs on 8 hits, no errors for the Nighthawks. 4 runs on 8 hits and an error for the Fighting Knights of Lynn University. The 0-2 just missed. Must have been a little bit low for ball 1, so it looked like it did catch the outside corner. Count, though, moves to a ball and 2 strikes.
Short season thus far, so he can't look too far into situational stats, but Perez just 1 of 6 so far, went up with 2 outs.
And awaiting the 1-2 pitch from Grandinet. It's on the way. And in the dirt once again, the count will run to 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Deuces wild, as
Deuces wild.
Boy Walker T used to say all the time.
A little bit of superstition behind that too. Whenever the count's 1-1-1 or 2-2-2, even across the board, supposed to rub the bill of your hat for good luck.
Anyone who's versed in scoreboard poker would like the 4 deuces right there.
As the 2-2 was ripped into left field, it's going to get down. Running on contact was Tomlinson. He'll come around to score. And the freshman Andres Perez drives in his 4th run of the afternoon. And a really impressive piece of hitting there with 2 strikes and 2 outs.
Yeah, absolutely. And bumps up that number with batting with 2 outs. Lost my train of thought for a second.
As now it'll be Devin Gearhart coming to the plate, doubled in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and came around to score in that inning on a Connor Hoover RBI single to right. And the first pitch at Gearhart swung on and missed at a fastball, went right after it. And as he was trying to get on board the home run train as well, trying to join Hoover and Perez on that train today.
I think that aggression of Lynn has certainly rubbed off a little bit on our lineup in this game.
0-1 swung on and missed by Gearhart once again.
And
Grandinet challenged him with 2 fastballs up and 2 swings and misses.
Not quite done with the 3rd inning yet, Thomas, and combined 11 runs and 17 hits in this ballgame.
As it's certainly been the offensive outpour that we expected. 0-2, ripped down the right field line foul. The count will run to a ball and 2 strikes. As Grandinet, so far this season, only 6 strikeouts in 11 innings. So if you're a Nighthawk hitter down 2 strikes, not a lot of reason to panic. Should still get something around the strike zone that you can put in play, averaging 1 strikeout almost every 2 innings. As the 0-2 down in the dirt, count will be a ball and 2 strikes. Nighthawks have struck out 51 times as a team in 262 at-bats this season. As the 1-2 is fouled off once again, and the count will remain a ball with 2 strikes. Gearhart working hard here, try to get something to hit. Connor Hoover on deck. Nighthawks already two across in this bottom of the 3rd inning. As we reach 5:15 Eastern time here in Dahlonega. 4 o'clock start time here. And it's 1-2 high for ball 2. Sun starting to set a little bit behind Radar Ridge. Sun, as far as the field of play goes, not too much of an issue. Maybe a little bit for the batter and the catcher looking to right field, but shadow's pretty much gone on Bob Stein Stadium. It's count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the 2-2 is hit out to the second baseman. Ceballos was playing in the hole, unable to make the play at second, but he's able to get Gearhart at first, and that's going to do it for the Nighthawks in the bottom of the 3rd. They're able to put 2 across as we head to the top of the 4th with the Nighthawks leading 7-4 here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
See the Levy's parked in front of our house again.
It's a free country, Dad.
Our house, our spot. Those are the rules.
Okay, who wants sweet rolls?
Oh, I do. Me too. Oh, are those King's Hawaiian rolls?
Thanks, Carol.
Everybody loves the sweet, fluffy deliciousness of King's Hawaiian bread. Find us in the deli or in-store bakery. Also try the complete line of King's Hawaiian sandwich rolls.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
And it's Derek Pickfett back for the Nighthawks in the top of the fourth inning as he replaced Dylan Peppers in the third. Go ahead and close the book on Peppers. 2.2 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 1 walk, no strikeouts for Peppers today, as he only threw 47 pitches in those 2.2 innings. And really had some good stuff today, but Lynn University, the Fighting Knights, just able to hit the ball extremely well. And 8-9-1 due up for the Knights in this inning. Ceballos, Turner, and Dorian. As Pickfett will look to try to do something that Peppers was unable to in his short stay in this game and get a shutdown inning for the Nighthawks, as the first pitch is ripped to left field, and Gouge will watch that one head out, and solo home run on the first pitch of the inning. Not meant to be for the Nighthawks to get a shutdown inning in this inning.
Yeah, shut that down really quick. That aggressive hitting continues. First pitch, and he blasted that up onto Radar Ridge.
We've had some hard hit balls between both teams today, but first long ball we've seen from Lynn University today up until that point had been a lot of singles and doubles, really into the holes and into the gaps.
Yeah, they had first inning. They had those 2 long flyouts, like out to the warning track, but other than that, hadn't had much power.
Yeah, as the first pitch fouled off down the third base line, and Gearhart will pick up the bunt foul, and the count will run to no balls and 1 strike as Alex Turner to the plate, the center fielder today, 1 for 1 with a single, was cut down trying to steal second to end that top of the second inning as he had the base stolen, but slid over the bag, and Andres Perez with a nice throw down there and a nice tag was able to get him out. As the 0-1 is hit in the air to left field, Gouge coming in a little bit, able to make the grab for the first out on a lazy fly ball to left field, and that'll be 1 away as we flip the lineup. And Patrick Dorian coming to the plate, 2 for 2, a double in the first, single in the third. Was able to score in the first, was cut down heading to second on a 3-6 double play, turned nicely by Trevor Sims at first in that top of the third inning. So he was able to make the grab, touch first, and throw down to second to cut down Dorian as the first pitch of the at-bat down for ball 1, and the count of ball and no strikes. And the 1-0 from Pickfett swung on and missed, or excuse me, fouled back, as he was able to get a little bit of that ball, and the count will be a ball and a strike. Already 3 at-bats in for Pickfett, has only thrown 9 pitches to 3 batters. So 1-1 missed inside, and the count will run to 2 balls and a strike. Excuse me, that's now 10 pitches to 4 batters. So just a little bit of a glimpse into this Lynn University mindset at the plate as the 2-1 is hit down to first. Sam's able to make the catch on the chopper and touch first for out number 2. And that'll bring Willie Shade to the plate, 0 for 2, fly out to center, and hit into that 3-6 double play in the top of the third. It's now 9 hits so far in this game for Lynn University, and only 2 players in the lineup do not have a hit for them, so 7 of their guys have been able to pick up base hits so far, and really showcasing the depth of their lineup as well.
Yeah.
Mentioned they were hitting 300 as a team coming into this ball game as the 0-1 hit up the middle. Hoover gives ground to his left, picks, throws to first, and Sam's able to make the catch, and that's going to do it for the Knights in the top of the 4th inning. So a quick inning for Pickfett, but Lynn University able to pick up a run on a solo home run by Miguel Ceballos, and we head to the bottom of the 4th with the Nighthawks up 7-5 here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Honey, would some Captain D's make you feel better?
Yeah. When you love seafood this much,
Back again?
I hope it's just a clumsy phase.
it's gotta be D's. Anything's worth it for our new home-style flounder meal or double dozen shrimp. Also try our grilled menu featuring new Tuscan tilapia. For full meals starting at just $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
I've been a loyal Clipper customer for years now. I can say this is the most exciting thing they've rolled out with in a while. The Clippers Fuel Savers card. Now I'm saving 10 cents at the pump every time. Thanks, Clipper.
If you're looking to buy or sell your mountain home or cabin, lake or riverfront property, look no further than Walden and Company Realty. Work with some of the most knowledgeable agents around with Walden and Company Realty. For more information, visit waldenco.com.
As we have a call to the bullpen for Lynn University. It is number 10, Jonathan Wake. Wake, a 6'3" junior, listed at 160 out of Lake Worth, Florida, and Santa Lucia's High School. The junior has made two appearances on the year, 1 start, 0-1 record, 2.2 innings thrown, 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 4 walks, and a strikeout, as he owns an ERA of 13.50 and very limited work, as he will come on to pitch for the starter in this ballgame for Lynn University, Frank Grandinet. 3 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 6 of those earned, 1 strikeout, faced 19 batters, threw 73 pitches in those 3 innings, so a little bit different, I guess, for him as opposed to Dylan Peppers and Pickfett, who haven't thrown very many pitches, and the Nighthawks really made him work, and it really shows the difference in the aggressiveness for both teams.
Certainly.
As the Nighthawks aggressive when it benefits them the most, but it seems like Lynn is swinging at the first or the second or the third pitch, not letting a pitcher get very deep in the at-bat, as it's Connor Hoover to the plate and bunts the ball down the first base line, and it will stay fair as he popped that bunt up down the first base line, and perhaps a little bit of the advantage of the turf field there.
Yeah, certainly, but a lot of luck right there. That was not what Connor Hoover wanted to do at all in popping that bunt up, but got lucky in that one, dropping almost dead when it landed. Spun a little bit, but not much at all.
Yeah, that one went high in the air for a bunt, and a couple of really lucky there too. Perhaps a little bit of the field is not really a cut in the grass there that you would see on normal baseball fields, and looked like it might have been in that area where it would have, kicked off the cut of the grass and gone foul. As the first pitch misses to Michael Gouge, goes back to the backstop. There we go. And hit it down to second as Hoover. And so he'll be on second with nobody out. As Gouge is at the plate. Gouge has a hit so far today, lined out to first in the bottom of the first inning.
Gouge hitting a cool 467 with runners in scoring position so far this year.
And really good to see for the Nighthawks. As we mentioned, they had to replace Sam Tideback in that 3-hole, who was very good for them last year. And Michael Gouge knew he was a good hitter at Valdosta State, had one season where he hit over 390 on the season. Didn't know if it would translate, and it sure has in a big way early on in the season. And as the 2-0 missed outside, or caught the outside corner for strike 1. And the count will run to 2 balls and a strike. Gouge is able to pick up a single in the bottom of the second. He awaits a 2-1 pitch, a favorable count for him. That ball is ripped down the left field line foul. Count will run to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Sams is on deck, Michael Belt in the hole. And looking up at the scoreboard, still have yet to see a 0 on the scoreboard so far in this ball game. 5 runs on 9 hits and an error for Lynn University. Nighthawks with 7 runs on 10 hits and no errors. A combined 19 hits in this ball game. Pretty crazy considering we're only in the bottom of the 4th inning.
As I told you, Thomas, right after we went to break, that last half inning in the top of the 4th may be as close as we get to a 3-up, 3-down in this ball game. It was very quick. Had the leadoff home run on the first pitch, and then they went in order after that.
Yeah, and it didn't see too many pitches from the next 3 batters as well. So might be good for the Nighthawks to conserve the bullpen here in this game 1. And it's a 2-2 inside for ball 3, as might be 3 games where we see both teams slug it out at the plate, and certainly will come down to the bullpens in those games. And really like the Nighthawk bullpen in that situation. As we mentioned, Lynn University with a team ERA over 5. And it's the Nighthawks team ERA a 3.09. As that 3-2 is hit in the air to right center field. A couple of players converging, and it's going to be the center fielder, Alex Turner, making the catch. Heading to third is Hoover. He'll be there with 1 away. So a productive at bat for Gouge as he chased Turner to the track in right center field, and that's going to bring Trevor Sams to the plate. Sams is 1 for 2, singled in the first, hit into an around the horn double play, 5-4-3 in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and a good chance here to drive in a runner with less than 2 outs.
Nice play by Turner right there on the track in right center as well. Thomas having to navigate the wall as well, and he didn't have a second to spare on that one.
Yeah, and that's something that perhaps goes unheralded a little bit, is an outfielder's ability to go into a new park, and he's only seen 3.3 innings in this ballpark, so not that easy whenever you come here, even though not too crazy of a field or dimension here at Bob Stein Stadium, but still playing on turf, getting used to that after playing on the natural grass, certainly not an easy thing to do.
It's a symmetrical park, so no real issues with the wall as far as learning anything like that. But when you're used to being able to feel the warning track, you kind of have to look down to be able to tell when you're coming up on the wall.
And it's a 2-0 swung on and missed by Sams. Count will run to 2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1 on the way. Breaking ball hit high in the air down the left field line. And a couple of Fighting Knights giving chase, but that one will get out of play. Count will run to 2 balls and 2 strikes as Gouge just got under that one a little bit. And
would not have wanted to catch that anyway, as it would have been an easy sac fly tag up for Connor Hoover, as deep as it was.
Yeah, and Hoover with very good speed over at third. And can't really speak to how key that was from Gouge to get him over to third. More opportunities to score from third than they are from second. As the 2-2 is hit down to third, Curtis will make the play and come home. Hoover able to slide in safe as he was able to get under the tag of Ellison, and headed down to first is Trevor Sams, as he will drive in Connor Hoover for the 8th run of the game for the Nighthawks, and that's going to bring Michael Bell to the plate. Bell 0 for 1 officially, flew out to center in the first and was able to reach first on a hit by pitch and come around to score in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Nice slide right there by Connor Hoover to come to the far side of the plate. Not a great throw. Went to the opposite side, obviously, and that's what allowed Hoover to get in there. If the throw's on target, Hoover's out by a good 2 feet there.
Yeah, and that's something that you see from the Nighthawk base runners. Not only are they, some of them quick and able to steal bases and, smart that way, but all of them have very good technique, and, they don't really panic under pressure as the 0-1 is hit out to short. Dorian's going to go to Ceballos, and the throw to first to Corbett gets bailed in the inning, with the Nighthawks able to get a run across their 8th of the game. We head to the top of the 5th with the Nighthawks up 8-5 here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. And back here to the top of the 5th inning as the slugfest at Bob Stein Stadium continues. Derek Pickfett back on the mound for the Nighthawks. He came in relief of Dylan Peppers in the 3rd inning. Pickfett 1.1 innings so far, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned. That only run coming to Miguel Ceballos with a leadoff solo home run last inning. As it will be 3-4-5 due up for the Fighting Knights in this inning. And the first pitch from Pickfett fouled off down the right field line. And the count will run to a ball, or no balls and a strike. And would be interesting to see how many hitters in this game swung at the first pitch, as it seems like not too many have watched the first pitch go by, seem to be swinging every time they really step into the box. So one misses outside there for ball 1. And the 1-1 on the way from Pickfett. Inside for ball 2, counts 2 balls and a strike. He will work quickly when he's out of the line. Seems to slow it down a bit, as most pitchers do from the stretch. As Pinckney going to try to break that flow a little bit. A little slow getting back into the box as the 2-1 misses low and away for ball 3. And Pickfett quickly behind 3 balls and a strike. Right-hander facing the right-handed Pinckney, who is the DH today, the 3-1 miss for ball 4, as looked like a pretty good pitch. Was waiting to see if late strike call would come with 3-1, but it didn't. And so it's a leadoff walk for Pinckney, and doesn't bode well for the Nighthawks, still looking for their first shutdown inning. As a little adage in baseball, when you give up a leadoff walk, it seems more times than not they come around to score. And track that a little bit in that second game with Nova Southeastern. Something like 5 runners for both teams reached on a leadoff walk, and 4 of them came around to score. So Pickfett already behind the 8 ball in this inning. Count as ball and no strikes. That's Tyler Curtis at the plate, 1 for 2 with the double. Scored a run in the top of the 3rd. As that ball is hit down to 3rd, a nice pick by Gearhart. Hurries with a throw across, and Sam's able to stretch and get the 3rd baseman Curtis, who was hustling down to first base. And Gearhart, really one of the better defenders in the Peach Belt.
Yeah.
Saw
Gold
that
Glove
last
winner
season.
last year.
And
certainly a great stop, as you had said, Thomas, and then just a cannon over there to first, and a great stretch by Trevor Sams at first to complete the play on his end.
Yeah, one senior to another, throwing across the diamond right there. And, you know, we talk a lot about Gearhart, how he won the Gold Glove, but really someone that goes unheralded, as far as defensive efforts goes on the infield for the Nighthawks. Trevor Sams, and shows why right there. And if you ask a lot of people, they say Sams is really a key contributor with how well he's able to stretch.
Yeah, Rudy Garbalosa, the head coach for Lynn, coming out and arguing that. And I think Sams did come off the bag, but I think he had it when he first got the ball and then kind of popped off just a split second after that. But it looked like he had the bag when he first made the catch there.
As Pickfett delivers, the pitch to Carl Ellison, walked and made it to second in the top of the 3rd, flew out to right in the top of the 2nd. And as Pickfett behind 1-0 in the count, working from the stretch, sets and delivers a 1-0 outside for ball 2, and the count will run to 2 balls and no strikes. And Pickfett working multiple innings so far today, and had 5.1 innings in an appearance earlier in the year. And so able to go long distances for the Nighthawks, and they'll need him to eat up some innings today. As that ball is ripped past Gearhart at 3rd, and Gouge able to get the ball quickly and get it into Gearhart, stopping at 3rd. Is Pinckney. And down at first is Carl Ellison with the hit. And so there will be runners on 1st and 3rd with 1 away. as Jake Rouse comes to the plate. 2 for 2, 2 singles, scored a run in the top of the second inning. As the Nighthawks have not been able to figure out the lefty so far, playing left field today. And Pickfett will check on Carl Ellison at first, the catcher, so you wouldn't expect him to go, but one thing to keep in mind, force out still in play. So ball hit up the middle, Nighthawks would have an opportunity to turn the double play. As Bell is playing a little deep at second, Connor Hoover at short, playing average depth for a shortstop with a lefty at the plate. Third baseman Gearhart guarding the line as he's playing close to third. And the count's 0-1 for Pickfett. Working from the stretch, sets and delivers an 0-1 breaking ball that's in the dirt for ball one. Count even, a ball and a strike. And it's the Nighthawk bullpen relatively quiet. No one really warming up at the moment. Pickfett throws over to first. And back is Ellison. Pickfett only with 25 pitches so far. And this is the 9th batter he has faced. 1-1 on the way. Down and in for ball 2. Count will run to 2 balls and a strike. Nighthawks have turned a double play today, a 3-6 double play back in the top of the third. And Pickfett will step off, and the count is 2 balls and a strike. Two-1 is hit in the air to center field. Tomlinson coming on, not going to be able to make the catch. A high bounce, tried to get it in to second to get the catcher Carl Ellison, but Ellison a nice job of reading when that ball got down and gets to second. The run comes around to score, that being Pinckney.
Number 24, Jonathan Corbett.
And that'll be the 6th run of the ball game for Lynn University. And that'll bring Jonathan Corbett to the plate. Corbett today is 1 for 2 with a strikeout. As the first pitch cut on and missed for strike 1 as he fouled it into the mid of Andres Perez. As we will have a 9th consecutive half inning with at least a run scored in this ball game. 0-1 outside for ball 1, and the count will run even, a ball and a strike. And it's only been one crooked number inning for Lynn University in this game, a 2-run inning in the top of the third. Single runs in the first, the second, the fourth, and the fifth. Single runs for the Nighthawks in the first and the fourth, 4 runs in the bottom of the second, 2 runs in the bottom of the third, and that's how we get to the Nighthawks leading 8-6 in this ball game. 8 runs on 10 hits and no errors for the Nighthawks, 6 runs on 11 hits and an error for Lynn University, and 21 base hits in this game so far. 2-1 on the way, hit off the end of the bat. Sams charges. He'll go to first. Runners will advance to second and third. And that's where they will be with 2 away, as it will be Miguel Ceballos coming to the plate. Reached on a fielder's choice in the top of the second. Hit a leadoff home run in the top of the fourth. As Pickfett delivers the first pitch of the at-bat, a fastball on the inside corner at the knees for strike number 1. We're almost an hour and 40 minutes into this ball game. We're in the top of the 5th inning. 0-1 fastball, missed the outside corner, and the count will run to a ball and a strike. One swung on and missed by Ceballos, and the count will run to a ball and 2 strikes. For Ceballos, that home run in the top of the 4th inning was his 4th on the year, tying him with the team lead with Jonathan Corbett, who hits out of the 7 hole. So the 7 and 8 hole providing the power for this Lynn University lineup so far this season. So that pitch was fouled off down the third base line, and the count will remain a ball and 2 strikes. As Pickford has 2 outs, but runners at second and third, so a base hit here, score a run, and could potentially score a second run, tying this one up for the Fighting Knights. 1-2 from Pickford. Missed outside for ball 2, as looked like a change up there, or took a little bit of something off that fastball, trying to change the eye level perhaps a little bit, and the speed level of Ceballos in the box. And a 2-2 on the way, fouled off down the third base line. Count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the sun is almost completely set in right field. Wind has died down. Temperatures have dropped a little bit, but not too cold right now. There's a 2-2 on the way from Pickford. Fastball missed the outside corner. Hit the spot of Perez, but it looks like Perez's glove was just a little bit outside, and the count will run full 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners will be off with the pitch. Pickford does have a base open at first. The 3-2 hit in the air. Center field, Tomlinson froze initially coming in, and he will make the catch in shallow center field for out number 3 here in the top of the 5th inning. So once again, Lynn able to get a run, but the Nighthawks still lead 8-6 as we head to the bottom of the 5th here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Hickory Prime Barbecue is a proud sponsor of North Georgia Baseball. Hickory Prime offers multiple specials daily, including a barbecue pork sandwich, fries, and a drink for just $8. Winners of multiple national awards, the restaurant offers pork, chicken, beef brisket, ribs, and much, much more. Visit Hickory Prime Barbecue, open 7 days a week, just minutes from the Dahlonega campus of UNG off of Morrison Moore Parkway.
And as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, the 5th inning is the 5th inning home run inning presented by Hickory Prime Barbecue. If a Nighthawk gets a home run in this inning, 5 lucky fans get a free barbecue sandwich from Hickory Prime. As it will be 6, 7, 8 due up for the Nighthawks. Corbett, Profit, and Tomlinson.
Also, more importantly, this year, Thomas Hickory Prime is donating $500 for every home run hit in the 5th inning by the Nighthawks at home this season.
So a little bit of something in it for everybody this season. Yeah. As Corbett will step to the plate 0 for 2 today. First pitch from Jonathan Wake, who came in relief of today's starter for Lynn University, who was Grandinette. 3 innings for Grandinette, 9 hits, 7 runs, 6 of those earned, no walks, and a strikeout through 73 pitches. So Wake on for his 2nd inning of relief, and quickly finds himself down 2 balls and no strikes to Corbett. And the 2-0 missed high and in for ball 3. Corbett had to duck out of the way of that one a little bit. And the count now 3-0 as Corbett is way ahead. And the Nighthawks looking to answer Lynn University once again. The 3-0, nowhere near for ball 4. As Corbett looks like he threw his bat into the dugout, so he was excited to head down to first. And he will be on first with nobody out for Josh Profit. Profit so far on the day 0 for 2, getting the start in the DH spot. The third DH we've seen this year, Anthony Carco, Josh Peterson, and now Profit, the 3 DHs. It's been one of the more fluid positions in this lineup for the Nighthawks. Everything else just about the same. First pitch high and away to Profit for ball 1. And the 1-0 missed outside for ball 2. We had that 0 for 2 day so far for Profit, his average falling to 250. But he has had limited action, as we mentioned. Only one start on the season. He's made 3 appearances. Well, this will be his second start of the season, his 5th appearance, 2 for 8 on the season. He has another mound visit, as Wake finds himself down 2 balls and no strikes. And as we mentioned, the bullpen could be something where it's 1 for the Nighthawks. We've seen Pickford come in and throw strikes for the Nighthawks. Lynn just continuing to hit well, but for the Nighthawks at the plate, leadoff walk here to start the inning and a 2-1 count here against Profit. As we mentioned, 2 different styles of aggressiveness in this ball game. The 2-1 to Profit catches the outside corner for strike 2. And it's got to be something you like about the Nighthawks, Chad, their ability to be patient but then turn on that aggressiveness whenever they do find themselves up in the count.
Yeah, you like to be able to flip that switch, and North Georgia's done a good job of it.
It's that 2-2 hit down to third. Corbett retreating to second, and Profit just able to beat the throw as Corbett had to retreat, thinking Curtis had caught that line drive. He went to Ceballos to second. Ceballos' throw to first, unable to get Profit, so he will be on first with 1 away for Stephen Tomlinson, who is 2 for 2 on the day so far. A single in the bottom of the second, a double in the bottom of the third. And he will look to continue his perfect evening at the plate. Now up to 346 on the season as the first pitch back to the backstop for ball 1, as it will be a wild pitch. So Wake really struggling to command the strike zone in this inning so far. 4-pitch walk to Corbett start the inning, fell behind Profit as he was able to rally back to a 2-2 pitch and then wild pitch there. Now Tomlinson up 1-0 with a runner on second and 1 away. 1-0 missed outside, and the count quickly 2 balls and no strikes. It's freshman Andres Perez, who has driven in 4 runs so far today. It's on deck. Righty-righty matchup. Tomlinson waits the 2-0, and that ball is hammered deep to left field, and that ball is way out of here as Tomlinson with a 2-run bomb to left, and that one was a no-doubter as it was halfway up the hill in left field. Tomlinson will round third and come home, and the Nighthawks 10-6, and
free
you know
barbecue.
what that means, free barbecue.
They're coming. They're coming.
Now a mad dash as
I called that. I called the barbecue.
the Nighthawks. First time that we've seen it happen while we've been on the air, and last season we would just call out 5 random seat orders, but this time it's a little bit more entertaining as the first 5 people to the door get the ticket.
Yeah. Garrett Rowland, our new PA announcer. This is our first that we've hit on, right? The Hickory Prime home run inning.
It is.
He's experiencing having to fill out the paperwork down there for Hickory Prime.
Yeah, as Perez finds himself behind the count, no balls and 2 strikes, and the Nighthawks able to respond to the Lynn University run in the top of the 5th inning, able to score 2 in the bottom of the 5th, and that ball absolutely crushed by Tomlinson, and impressive to see that kind of power out of a guy hitting out of the 8-hole.
Absolutely. We talked about that depth earlier, and Tomlinson, as you were saying, Thomas, last year was not an 8-hole guy. I mean, he was up in the heart of the order, so showing right there that he still has that power.
And had a little bit of a slow start to the season as that 2-2 is hit in the air to center field. And it's going to be a couple of players converging. It'll be Turner, the center fielder, who takes command and makes catch for out number 2. Had really struggled a little bit to start the season, but having a very good day-to-day, is only a triple shy of the cycle as a center fielder. And that average just continues to climb. Started at 292 before that at bat was up to 346, and that'll certainly go up for him as well. There are now 2 away in the inning, though, and we'll flip the lineup, and Devin Gearhart will come to the plate. Gearhart so far on the day, 0 for 3. As the first pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. Does have a hit, 1 for 3 today with a double. As he continues his impressive season, hitting .378. Quickly behind, no balls and 2 strikes though in this at bat. As Wake delivers the 0-2 to Gearhart. Fastball down and caught the outside corner at the knees for strike number 3, and that's going to do it for the Nighthawks in the bottom of the 5th. But a successful bottom of the 5th as we saw the first home run during the home run inning hit by Stephen Tomlinson, a 2-run bomb to left field, and that extends the lead for the Nighthawks to 10-6 here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Hickory Prime Barbecue is a proud sponsor of North Georgia Baseball. Hickory Prime offers multiple specials daily, including a barbecue pork sandwich, fries, and a drink for just $8. Winners of multiple national awards, the restaurant offers pork, chicken, beef brisket, ribs, and much, much more. Visit Hickory Prime Barbecue, open 7 days a week, just minutes from the Dahlonega campus of UNG off of Morrison Moore Parkway.
And back here for the top of the 6th inning. It's Pickford on the mound once again for the Nighthawks. Has been pretty successful considering his relief of Peppers. Only given up 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, only 1 walk. And the first pitch to the leadoff hitter, center fielder Alex Turner, is low for a ball. And the 1-0 is hit back up the middle. Pickford able to knock it down, but unable to make the throw to first as Turner was hustling down the line. And so he'll be at first with nobody out.
Now bat number 6, Patrick Dorian.
As Patrick Dorian will come to the plate. Dorian so far on the day is 2 for 3. Seeing his average climb to 303. As the first pitch to Dorian, fastball over the heart of the plate, down at the knees for strike 1. And so the count will run to no balls and a strike. 0-1 on the way. Fastball down and in, and the count will run to a ball and a strike. As it's been a back-and-forth game so far in Game 1 of this series, yet to have a scoreless inning from either side. 10-6 is your score. As the 1-1 fouled off down the first base line, the count will be a ball and 2 strikes. As the line score looks like this for Lynn University, a run in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth for the Nighthawks. 1 in the bottom of the first, 4 in the bottom of the second, 2 in the bottom of the third, 1 in the bottom of the fourth, and 2 in the bottom of the fifth. And so those 3 crooked number innings to 1 lead for the Nighthawks is what gives them this 4-run lead as we head to the top of the 6th.
Still waiting to see a 0 pop up there.
As the 1-2 caught the inside corner for strike 3. Dorian not happy with that call at all, and perhaps not happy with himself as he goes down for the second strikeout for Pickett. And Willie Shea will come to the plate. 0 for 3 in the game, flew out to center in the top of the first. Grounded into a 3-6 double play in the top of the third and grounded out to the shortstop Hoover in the top of the fourth. First pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Counts no balls and a strike. As the sun is finally set behind the trees in right field. Don't need the sunglasses anymore for the rest of this game, and it will be played under the lights. As Pickett throws over to first. And back safely is Alex Turner. So 1 from Pickett. That ball is bunted down to third. Charging is Gearhart. Nice bare hand throw and able to make the throw to first and the catch by Sams. And that was a nice play a la Chipper Jones back in his days of playing for the Braves. Was so good at making that bare hand, and Gearhart able to do the same right there.
University number 42, Jared Pickney.
So that'll bring Jaron Pickney to the plate. 1 hit, 1 for 1 so far today. He has been to the plate 3 times, hit a sac fly to right in the top of the first, singled and scored in the top of the third, and was able to walk and score in the top of the fifth. So a runner on second for Lynn University, 2 away, as Derek Pickett 1 out away from getting the first shutdown inning of the ball game for either side. Right-hander working from the stretch, sets and delivers. First pitch fastball over the outer third of the plate. Die high for strike number 1. Pickett had to come in the third inning in relief of Peppers and has thrown 49 pitches in relief. 0-1 on the way. Breaking ball caught the outside corner for strike 2, and the count will run to no balls and 2 strikes. There are 2 outs in the inning. We're in the top of the 6th. The Nighthawks leading by a 10-6 score. 6 runs, 12 hits, and an error for Lynn University. 10 runs, 11 hits, no errors for North Georgia. As the 0-2 on the way, fastball just missed the outside corner. Looked like it might have been just above the belt, but just missed the outside corner, so the count will run to a ball and 2 strikes.
Must be something going up at the soccer field. Just heard the horn go off.
I was kind of curious what that was. It's like, we're too far. Surely there's nothing going on at Memorial Hall that we could hear down here. As the count runs to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, you will hear the horn tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll be on the Nighthawk Sports Network with doubleheader coverage as the men and women take on Columbus State. Final regular season home game of the year will be Senior Day. As Pickett delivers a 2-2, hit down to third. Gearhart able to glove, throws a cannon across the infield to Sams at first. He's able to make the catch, and that's going to do it as Pickett able to get the first shutdown inning of the game for either side. The Nighthawks will head to the bottom of the 6th up 10-6 here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
J.R. Kriders is a proud sponsor of North Georgia Baseball. J.R. Kriders sells Southern Tide, Peach State Pride, and many more apparel brands. They also sell men's and women's clothing, as well as Costa sunglasses and accessories. J.R. Kriders is also home to the Yeti Lounge, where you can sit back and relax with snacks and drinks inside the store. Visit J.R. Kriders just off the square in beautiful Dahlonega, Georgia, or on the web at jrkriders.com.
And it's the Nighthawks who will have 2-3-4. Connor Hoover, Michael Gouge, Trevor Sims due up in this bottom of the 6th inning, looking to continue their scoring streak in this ball game. 5 straight innings where they've scored at least a run. Lynn had their streak of 5 straight runs broken as Derek Pickford able to get a shutdown inning in the top of the 6th. So it'd be nice to see the Nighthawks score in this inning as well and try to expand on their 10-6 lead. Hoover steps into the box. First pitch fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. And Hoover so far on the day, 3 for 3, 2 RBIs. He's hit a home run, hit one in the bottom of the 1st. So one missed low for ball 1. The count will run to a ball and a strike. As the Nighthawks have brought their hitting shoes to the park once again today. 1-1 breaking ball drops into zone for strike 2. The count will run to a ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 is ripped into left field by Hoover, and he will have a leadoff single. And hustling around first, headed into second. He's going to beat the tag, and he will have a leadoff double as some really heads-up base running by Hoover, hustling out of the box, batting left. Well, batting as a left-hander, had a little bit of an advantage coming out that left side, and that certainly led to him making it the second for his 4th hit of the game.
Yeah, really, that's how you stretch it out right there, Thomas. I had that punched in as a single, and then saw Hoover take the big turn.
Yeah, it kind of took everybody off guard, and that's, you know, part of that aggressiveness on the base paths we were talking about that Coach Cantrell loves to see from his team. And so Hoover will be on second with nobody out for Michael Gouge. Gouge so far on the day, 1 for 3. As he's now got an opportunity to drive in Hoover. Has 15 RBIs on the year so far. And between him, Hoover, and Sams, some real run producers in this middle of the lineup. As Gouge awaits the first pitch of the at-bat. It's on the way. Breaking ball is hit into left field, and that's going to get down. Rouse going to pick it up and throw it in, but Hoover able to score easily, so Michael Gouge able to drive in his 16th run of the season. Extends the lead to 11-6 for the Nighthawks. He'll be on first with nobody out as Trevor Sams will come to the plate. And Sams on the day, 1 for 3 with an RBI. As the top hitters in this lineup continue to hit for the Nighthawks today. As we mentioned, Hoover perfect on the day, 4 for 4. Gouge 2 for 4. Sams 1 for 3. So in those, as that first pitch is ripped down to third, and it's going to be a double play as it was a nice catch by Curtis. Gouge wandering off first a little bit, unable to get back. And that's going to be 2 away. To continue that thought, 7 hits from the 2 through 4 in the lineup and 12 at bats. So over 500 average from those 3 hitters as Michael Bell comes to the plate. Bell is 0 for 2 today. Second baseman has seen his average drop to 212. 1-0 count the outside corner for strike number 1. And the count will be even, a ball and a strike. 1-1, a 59-foot breaking ball that bounces for ball number 2. And so as we mentioned, the Nighthawks able to extend their number of innings scored to 6 in this ball game. They have scored in every inning and have 11 hits up on the scoreboard. And the 2-2 high and away to Bell. Count will run to 3 balls and 2 strikes. If you go back to the final game of last series, the Nighthawks scored in the last 3 innings, so have scored 9 in 9 straight innings thus far into this ball game. As that 3-2 is hit down to first, Corbett will take it unassisted, and that'll do it for the Nighthawks in the bottom of the 6th, but they're able to pick up a run on a couple of hits, and we will head to the top of the 7th with the Nighthawks up 11-6 here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
I want everyone to rally behind such a great cause for Make-A-Wish. It's not just for us, and it's not just for the school. It's for the kids that we'll be helping. It's for them.
And it's not just raising money for a charity. It's raising money to make this kid's dream come true.
I never, still to this day, would have thought that it would have touched me the way that it did that day. To truly say that it was a life-changing moment for myself is true. And I think it was for our program, our team, and our university. It was truly one of the most memorable experiences of my coaching career.
You really just see the community come together to make this event special and make it unique. And I think that's one thing that we like to try to brand ourselves with here at UNG is we're unique, and we like to do the special, small things that make children's lives and dreams come true.
And back here in the top of the 7th, Derek Pickfett on to pitch the 7 for the Nighthawks. As we have this ball game today, but tomorrow have a doubleheader, senior day for the Nighthawk men and women as they play Columbus State.
Yeah, Thomas, definitely the last home game of the season for the women. The men, with one more win, can lock down the Western Division title, which would be the first time ever for the UNG men. Have never won the West since joining the Peach Belt. So hopefully some history to be made tomorrow. If the UNG men can beat Columbus State, clinch that #1 seed, then they'd host a PBC quarterfinal game next Saturday here at Memorial Hall, which we would also carry on the Nighthawk Sports Network. But the women locked into can finish no higher than the 3 seed, so they'll be on the road for their first game of the PBC tournament.
Yeah, had a big win against Montevallo on Wednesday night, 83-82 on Spirit Night, and was a really back and forth game and came down to the wire. A couple of missed field goal or free throws in that ball game for
on both ends.
Yeah, led to that 83-82 score. Mentioned the Nighthawks playing Columbus State. Last time the men played Columbus State, lost 81-75 down in Columbus. So we'll be looking for a little bit of revenge, but it is senior night or senior day. So perhaps a little bit of added motivation will help get them over the hump in that ball game.
You always wonder in every sport how senior day is going to go for you, because it usually goes one of 2 ways. Either a really motivated performance or emotions can get the best of some people. So, but only senior on the men's basketball team, Sheldon Brennan, who's not seeing a whole lot of minutes anyway, so not really sure how much that will play a factor into the men's game.
It's a 2-2 lined into left field for a base hit, and it'll be a leadoff single for Tyler Curtis. Would be nice to send Sean Brennan out with a win, though. On
absolutely, and but on the flip side of that, a big senior class for the women's basketball team. And the women, even though, Thomas, they're third in the division, trailed 2 top 25 programs in Columbus State, Clayton State. Just kind of unfortunate that you share the same division with them. UNG women are ranked 7th in the NCAA region ranking, so if they hold there and there aren't any tournament upsets, they would be looking at a trip to the NCAA tournament for the first time in a few years.
Yeah, Columbus State coming into that ball game tomorrow ranked number 5, so it should be a fairly good ball game between the two teams. The women lost 59 to 46.
It was a defensive battle, to say the least, down in Columbus.
As the count is a ball and a strike on first is Curtis Ellison at the plate. And, of course, that's the last home game, but both teams will have to travel to Young Harris midweek, February 22nd. So another crucial couple of ball games there, as well as Battle of Blood Mountain continues for the second time as far as basketball is concerned this season.
Yeah, like to see both the men and women complete the sweep of Young Harris. Would be nice and go a long way to helping seal the Battle of Blood Mountain trophy, staying in Dahlonega as it has every year since it was established.
Women won 79 to 48 the last time the two teams played, and
yeah, the Young Harris women are really bad, so I don't see would have to be a really bad performance for them to go up and lose at Young Harris. The men should be a tight game, though.
Yeah, 191 to 86 in Dahlonega in that ball game. As the 2-2 was hit into the gap into left center field, Tomlinson a good jump, able to get over there, and he's going to hold Tyler Curtis to second base. Nice job doing that. Runners will be on first and second, though, with nobody out for Jake Rouse, as that was Carl Ellison with that single into left center.
Kind of hoping after that first shutdown frame of the ball game in the top of the 6th that Pickford would come right back and pick up where he left off, but the Knights, the Fighting Knights, getting something going here in the top of the 7th, and you hope maybe we can get a little ground ball inducing double play right here.
And the Knights continuing to fight here in the top of the 7th.
See what you did there, Thomas.
As it's an 11-6 score here at Bob Stein Stadium. 6 runs, 14 hits, and an error for the Fighting Knights. 11 runs, 13 hits, and no errors for the Nighthawks, who continue an excellent defensive start to the season as the 1-0 is hit in the air to left center field. Tomlinson able to make the catch. Tagging and heading to third is Curtis. So it'll be first and third with one away, as it'll bring Jonathan Corbett to the plate. Corbett is 1 for 3 on the evening. Singled in the top of the 2nd. Struck out in the 3rd and grounded out 3 unassisted Sams in the top of the 5th inning.
Isn't Fighting Knights kind of redundant? Isn't that what Knights are supposed to do anyway?
Yeah, I was about to say, I'd assume fights. Well, if you go by Game of Thrones theory, part of their oath is they're supposed to fight. So, never heard of a knight that doesn't like to fight.
Non-fighting knight.
Be interesting to see that. Yeah, as the count is no balls and a strike. Nighthawks have turned one double play today. It was a 3-6 double play back in the top of the 3rd.
Fighting Irish makes sense because not all Irishmen fight.
Right. Yeah, I don't. Usually you see just Knights though, like or you see some.
Yeah, I've never seen Fighting Knights before. That's why it kind of caught me.
Some other descriptives like Scarlet Knights. You know, it makes sense to discuss differentiate the color, but not that they're fighting. As that ball is hit on the ground to third, Gearhart not going to be able to turn the double play. And so scoring is Curtis as that ball was hit too weakly at the 3rd. 2 outs in the inning. Corbett will get an RBI, though. And heading to second is Carl Ellison. So there'll be a runner on second and 2 away in this inning. As Miguel Ceballos will come to the plate. He has already hit a home run, led off the top of the 4th with a solo bomb to left field. And if it had not been for that leadoff home run, that would have been the first shutdown frame of the inning for either side. But Ceballos shut that one down pretty quickly for us in the top of the fourth. As the first pitch missed down and away for ball one. So 1 for 3 on the day. As the 1-0 is fouled back to the screen, the count will move to a ball and a strike. And an even 1-1 count. Pickford steers in at the second baseman for the Fighting Knights, and that ball is ripped into left center field. That's going to get into the gap. Ceballos rounding first, on his way to second. He'll be in there with a 2-out double, and that'll be the second run of the inning. And so, the third run of the inning. So Lynn trimming the lead to 11-8 as the scoreboard temporarily had it for 3 runs. That's going to bring Alex Turner to the plate. Turner on the day, 2 for 3, singled in the second and the sixth inning with a fly out to left sandwich in between. As we will now have a Wendy's call to the bullpen. We'll go to a short break. When we come back, we will have the new pitcher for you here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 Division II Baseball Championship, May 27th through June 3rd at the ballpark in Grand Prairie, Texas. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your seats today.
And we're back here in the top of the 7th inning. Derek Pickford departing and answering the Wendy's call to the bullpen. Number 1, Logan Bird, a junior left-hander, 5'10", 155 out of Dawsonville, Georgia, and Dawson County High School. Bird on the season so far, 2 appearances, no starts, 5.2 innings, 1-0 record, an ERA of 0, has 1 save. He's only given up 3 hits, 3 walks, and a struck out 6. Given up 2 doubles, and has opponents are hitting 167 against him.
And Thomas, more important than all of that, best pitching song on the team.
Very true. You hear some pretty interesting. It's an interesting array of songs. You have this one that comes on when Logan Burt pitches. When you have somebody like Chris Cobb come out, you'll have a little bit of Breaking Benjamin with some metal. So, we've got every type of genre of music for you here. If you
Daniel McCrary has The Lion King.
So a little bit of something for everybody as far as musical taste goes here at North Georgia. Here's Burt, lefty, facing the lefty Alex Turner.
For those that couldn't hear, I believe you could because I could hear it in my headset, but eastbound and down from Smoking the Bandit.
So 1-0 on the way, hit down to first. Sam's able to make the catch easily, takes it to first, and that's going to do it for the Fighting Knights in the top of the 7th. They're able to score 2 runs and cut the lead to 11-8 for the Nighthawks. For the Nighthawks heading into the 7th inning stretch with the lead here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
The UNG Campus Connection is your university bookstore. It's the one-stop shop where students can get anything they need for the classroom, and fans can find everything they need to support the Nighthawks, from shirts and jackets to car decals and tailgating chairs. Gear up at the Nighthawks Nest with officially licensed UNG merchandise. Visit our stores in Dahlonega, Gainesville, Oconee, and Cumming, or check us out online at ungbookstore.com. The UNG Campus Connection is a proud sponsor of North Georgia Athletics.
Honey, And some Captain D's make you feel better.
Yeah.
When you love seafood this much,
Back again?
I hope it's just a clumsy phase.
it's gotta be D's. Anything's worth it for our new homestyle flounder meal or double dozen shrimp. Also try our grilled menu featuring new Tuscan tilapia. For full meals starting at just $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
And we're back. Other side of the seventh inning stretch today presented by Campus Connection, your university bookstore. And as Connor Corbett comes to the plate, we're playing the Tomahawk Chop here as we are in Braves country in Dahlonega, Georgia, and Braves getting ready to start. And we made a couple of interesting acquisitions so far this season, have added some veteran rotation help. The cult hero Bartolo Colon for the Braves, the ageless wonder who's continuing to throw and throw effectively for teams and doing it in old school manner with nothing but fastballs, it seems, with every pitch. Jump from the Mets to the Braves. As a 1-0 down and away to Corbett for 2 balls and no strikes.
There's a pretty good article, too, about Bartolo Colon and Brandon Phillips, who were traded for each other at the start of Brandon Phillips' career, now playing on the same team.
Seems baseball always comes full circle. As Colon signed a 1-year deal with the Braves, a 3-0 to Corbett up and in for ball 4. He's able to pick up the walk. Colon is 43 years old.
Yeah.
Out of Altamira, Dominican Republic. Another acquisition, R.A. Dickey, 42 years old for the Braves, knuckleballer.
I think I saw Colon pitched in the first season at Turner Field, didn't he?
Yeah,
I saw that somewhere. That
he would have
his
been
rookie season, was, which is pretty wild. Pitch in the first season of Turner Field, now the first season of SunTrust Park.
Yeah, would have been pitching for the Expos then before he was traded to the Indians. So yeah, baseball, crazy sport.
Yeah, excited to see that new park. It looks pretty amazing.
As the 0-1, as Profit tried to lay down the bunt, the count will run to no balls and 2 strikes. And it's supposed to be state-of-the-art, which, I mean, Turner Field was a very nice park, but this one is supposed to have a lot more amenities to it. Also not going to be as cavernous as Turner Field, as it'll be sort of a short porch to right field. Saw a graphic of the dimensions. Going to be a 16-foot wall in right field, but it's going to be 325.
Yeah, it's a short porch, yeah. Yeah, and the chop house will be out there on all 3 lower-level chop house this year. That'll be on field levels. That'll be pretty cool. But Profit had stepped on the plate right there as he laid down the bunt. That's why he was out. I was wondering, had to take my headset off for a second because I was like, that's only 2 strikes. But had his foot on the plate when he made contact.
Yeah, something you very rarely see. As the 0-1 is fouled off over the press box. We saw last weekend Nova Southeastern, a player, had hit a ball outside of the box, and it hit him, but I think it almost surprised the umpire crew as the play was allowed to continue and the runner was thrown out at first. But seen some interesting things happen as far as the batter's box goes early on in the season. As the 0-2 misses down and away for ball 1, the count will run to ball and 2 strikes to Stephen Tomlinson, who is a triple away from the cycle. 3 for 3 today. Yeah, so 1-2 misses down and away. The count will run to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tomlinson has seen his average climb to 370, started at 292 at the beginning of the game.
It's a decent day.
Yeah, 3 for 3 is not bad. Not bad. 3 for 3 with 2 extra base hits and a single.
Sure, his slugging percentage has climbed a couple points today. Let's see where it started at. 458, and now it's 667.
So a good day all around for Tomlinson as he awaits a 2-2 pitch still It is Wake out there still for Lynn University. Keeping an eye on Corbett at first, who drew a walk to start the inning. And the 2-2 on the way to Tomlinson. Looked like a breaking ball in the dirt, a 59-footer. And the count will run full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. One away in this bottom of the 7th inning. Andres Perez on deck. In the hole, Devin Gearhart.
Perez has had a good day as well, 2 for 3 with 4 runs knocked in.
And the 3-2, Corbett is going. Tomlinson hits that ball in the air to deep right center field, but over to make the catch is Turner. And hitting back to first is Corbett. So Tomlinson giving that ball a ride, trying to get it into the gap, give himself a chance to hit the triple, but run down nicely by Turner. There's going to be 2 away for the aforementioned Perez. 2 for 3, has scored a run, hit a 3-run home run.
Thomas Turner has showed some excellent range out there. North Georgia had the hit and run on right there with Corbett on the move, and if that ball gets down, Corbett's coming in to score easily.
Yeah, I've really been impressed with his play in center field so far tonight. And he's taken a couple of hits away from the Nighthawks as Corbett once again on the move. Perez once again fouls this one off. Count will run, no balls and a strike. And on display right here, the aggressiveness of Coach Cantrell, up 11-8. Just giving up 2 runs at the top of the 7th, wanting to continue to stay aggressive and try to score more runs. But going back to Turner in center field, taking a couple of hits away from the Nighthawks, and that's something that is interesting as far as center fielders go. As the 0-1 in there for a strike. A little bit of a battle now between those outfielders that are natural outfielders and those that are turned into outfielders, kind of like Trey Turner and Bryce Harper with the Nationals. And not only is Turner fast out there in center for Lynn University, but he got a really good jump on that ball as well. Sort of like an Ender Inciarte type center fielder that has really good tools, but also has the speed to go with it. As the count is 0-2 on Perez. It is Wake who is pitching into the 7th as he came in the 4th inning in relief of Grandinette. 0-2 missed high. Count will run to a ball and 2 strikes. So only 62 pitches for Wake so far as he's looking to finish off his 4th inning of the ball game. So it's been economic. It's held the Nighthawks to 4 hits and 2 walks. And only 3 earned runs. It's Corbett going on the 1-2. Once again fouled off at the plate by Perez. The count will run to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
66 pitches now for Wake. 40 of them have been in the zone.
So he's been finding the zone a lot, almost 2/3 of the time for the Fighting Knights. Nighthawks have done a good job, though, of once that ball finds the zone, not being... They've been aggressive in the zone, not necessarily aggressive overall. As the 1-2 on the way to Perez, inside for ball 2. The count will run deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Perez looking to get his 3rd hit of the day. And on the line is the 9-inning scoring streak for the Nighthawks, dating back to last weekend. Done it in economic fashion today. Only 13 hits and 11 runs. It's 2-2 on the way to Perez. Breaking ball just missed the inside corner. Looked like it caught the corner. Must have been low. And the count is now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So Corbett will be running on the pitch. And a ball into the gap could potentially see the Nighthawks score a run here in the bottom of the 7th. As Wake was implored to step off so that Ellison could tell the first baseman Corbett to back off. The 3-2 is ripped down the third base line, but just foul. As Perez staying alive in this at-bat. A little bit of action in the North Georgia bullpen. Nothing too serious right now as Logan Burt came on in the top of the 7th and was able to get the final out of the inning. And the 3-2 swung on and missed by Perez, and that's going to do it for the Nighthawks in the bottom of the 7th. So unable to push a run across. And at the end of 7, it's the Nighthawks 11, Lynn University 8 here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Irresistible King's Hawaiian Bread.
I coined my definition of success in 1934. My definition of success is peace of mind attained only through self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable. It's like reputation and character. Reputation is what others perceive you to be. Character is what you are.
And back here to the top of the 8th inning, as it's Logan Burt on the mound for the Nighthawks. Came in relief of Derek Pickford in the top of the 7th inning. Go ahead and close the book on Pickford. 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts through 71 pitches. He faced 20 batters. And so it'll be up to Logan Burt, who threw 2 pitches last inning, to try to get 3 outs in this inning for the Nighthawks.
Really now fully under the lights, Thomas, and pretty stadium during the day, but really think it sparkles at night.
Yeah, it's the first pitch inside for ball 1, and one of the premier fields in all of college baseball, and can certainly see why on your camera. As got the nice backdrop in the outfield. 1-0 missed outside for ball 2. As you can see people watching just off camera on top of Radar Ridge. On any given day, especially last weekend, you could switch it anywhere between the baseball team playing the #1 team in the nation. It's a 2-0 breaking ball in there for a strike. And you could walk just a few feet down and also see the Steak and Shake Classic going on. So one of the nicer and also one of the more unique viewing, viewing places in D2 baseball, if not in all of baseball. It's a 2-1 hit down the first base line. And Sams tried to make the tag, but not sure if he threw, if when he tagged the ball, the runner knocked it away, or if he just lost it as he was trying to make the tag. Either way.
Yeah, the ball came. He lost control of the ball as he was tagging Dorian right there. So got to maintain control of the ball through the tag, and then you got to make a football move.
As Dorian's on first, and Willie Shea coming to the plate. First pitch to Shea up and away for ball 1. Shea on the day is 0 for 3. And the 1-0 breaking ball low for ball 1. The count will run to 1 ball and 1 strike. That was ruled a hit, the 16th of the day for Lynn University. As the 2-0 is fouled off the catcher Perez, as Shea took a hack at that one.
Now Dorian will move to 3 for 5 so far on the evening. And the 2-1 swung on and missed by Shea, and Bird has battled back to make this a 3-2 count. And Burt out of the stretch with the 2-2 breaking ball. Fouled off by Shea to the right side. As it's been a steady diet of breaking balls in this at bat. Burt, once again, another one of those pitchers out of the bullpen for the Nighthawks that will not look to overwhelm you per se. More of a crafty lefty. As the 2-2 on the way. Swung on and missed. A nice breaking ball that never made it back to the outside corner. And the count, and that'll be out number 1 in the inning. And that'll bring Jaron Pinckney to the plate. Pinckney so far today, 1 for 2. As he had a sac fly in the first, singled in the third, walked in the 5th, and grounded out to third in the 6th. And the count is now 1 ball and no strikes. And the 1-0, breaking ball, swung on and missed. The count will run to a ball and a strike. And this Bird has found his breaking ball in this inning. And after Lynn University was fed a steady diet of fastballs, as a 1-1 swung on and missed by Pinckney. The count will be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pickford and Peppers both primarily use the fastball, and so now that Bird is feeding Lynn University a steady diet of breaking balls and occasionally going to fastball, it's been a different story for them, as the 1-2 breaking ball just missed the outside corner. The count will run to 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Bird has done a good job of locating that breaking ball on or around the outside corner in this ball. So far in this inning has not hung a breaking ball. Hanging breaking balls do tend to go a long way. As the 2-2 by Burt in the dirt, and the count will run full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So it was a leadoff single by Dorian as he met first with 1 away. Burt trying to hold the Fighting Knights scoreless in this inning. The 3-2 misses low, and that'll be ball 4 heading to second. As Dorian headed down to first with the walk is Pinckney. And that'll bring Tyler Curtis to the plate. 2 for 4 on the day. Double in the third, a single in the 7th. As it counts now, no balls and a strike to Tyler Curtis. Burt has gotten ahead of the hitters so far in the inning. Was able to get a strikeout of Willie Shea. As the 0-1 on the way, breaking ball finds the outside corner once again, and the count will run to no balls and 2 strikes. And Burt relying on that breaking ball, but it is a good one.
Has a lot of movement, not an over-the-top breaking ball, but one more of a sweeping curveball. And the 0-2 on the way. Fastball just missed the outside corner. Perez was set up a little bit off the outside corner, and that'll run the count to a ball and 2 strikes. And some meaningful relief for Burt in his 2 appearances this year, a win and a save, so he's been in some pretty important spots when he's been called upon out of that Nighthawk bullpen, and is described as a bulldog out of the bullpen, so really a fighter when he's on the mound and goes right after the hitters. It's a 1-2, swung on and missed, and another strikeout for Burt. That's going to be out number 2 in the inning. And that will bring up Carl Ellison. Ellison is 2 for 3 on the day, singles in the 5th and the 7th inning. Ellison is the catcher today for Lynn University. First pitch from Bird is ripped down the left field line. That's going to get foul. And that'll be a loud strike number 1. Bird is one out away from getting the second shutdown inning of the game for the Nighthawks. We've only seen 2 half innings so far in this ball game, with zeros, a scoreless top of the 6th for Lynn and a scoreless bottom of the 7th for the Nighthawks. Otherwise, we've had runs in every inning. Lynn University 8 runs on 16 hits with an error. It's the 0-1 missed high for ball 1. Single runs in the 1st, the 2nd, the 4th, the 5th. They had 2 runs in the 3rd and the 7th for their 8 runs. The Nighthawks single runs in the 1st, the 4th, and the 6th. 4 in the bottom of the 2nd, 2 apiece in the bottom of the 3rd and the bottom of the 5th. And it's a 1-1 on the way. Just missed the outside corner, must have been low as it looked like it was over the plate, and the count will run 2 balls and a strike.
Fans liked it.
Yeah, looked good from up here, but once again, must have been just a little bit low, as haven't had too many issues really with the strike zone today. It's been fairly consistent. Both teams, though, are throwing a lot of strikes. It's a 2-1 on the way. Breaking ball fouled back to the screen. Count runs 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the runners will be off on contact. At second, Patrick Dorian. At first, Jaron Pinckney. As a tying run for the Fighting Knights at the plate. Burt steering in, working from the third base side of the rubber. Sets and delivers a 2-2 that's in the dirt. Off the plate outside, and the count will be full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and now the runners will be moving on the pitch. And a big difference in moving on contact and moving on the pitch. Runners going no matter what here, so they will have quite an advantage if the ball is hit into the gap. Gives the runner at second a good opportunity to score if the ball does find green grass, as the 3-2 is flipped back foul to the screen, and it will remain full on Ellison. Jake Roush on deck. 3 hits for the Fighting Knights for the left fielder. So Burt would like to retire Ellison here and not have to face Roush. As the 3-2 on the way from Burt. Here it is. Once again, fouled off to the screen. So a nice little battle going on here between Ellison and Burt. So we are late in this ball game. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Nighthawks looking to pick up their 7th win of the season. So they hold a 6-1 record. They only lost the final game to Nova Southeastern last weekend. So they took the series from the #1 team in the nation, trying to beat another team from Florida here in Lynn University. The 3-2 is ripped into left field fair. That's going to get down to the wall. One's going to score. Pinckney on his way around third. Gouge picks it up and gets it in, and the throw will be cut off. Pinckney will come around to score, and the game is suddenly back to a one-run game as Lynn University refusing to go away. Scored 2 runs in the top of the 8th inning.
Yeah, and Thomas, that one snuck up under just into that gap between the wall and the turf. There's a little indentation there, and Gouge thought it was going to pop back to him and kind of had to go in last second. Not sure it would have made a difference. You know, Run probably is going to score anyway, but took away any possibility of a play at the plate on that second run.
And that will end the evening for Burt. We'll have a pitching change. When we come back, we'll tell you about the Wendy's call to the bullpen here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 Division II Baseball Championship. May 27th through June 3rd at the ballpark in Grand Prairie, Texas. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your seats today.
And the Wendy's call to the bullpen answered by Jake Jones. Wearing number 12, senior right-hander, 6'1", 180 out of Covington, Georgia, and Gordon State College. And so far on the season, Jones, 2 appearances, 1 save, has thrown 3 innings. No hits, no runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Opponents obviously hitting 0 against him since he has yet to give up a hit on the inning, or a hit on the year. Does have a runner at second, though, that he will inherit. And there will be 2 outs in the inning as the Nighthawks clinging to a 1-run lead right now, as Lynn University, after going down 11-6 in the bottom of the 6th inning, is charged back with 2 runs in the 7th and the 8th innings.
I'll tell you, Thomas, you talk about Gordon State College, just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Jackson, Georgia, home of Buckner's Restaurant, which is the home of the best fried chicken in Georgia, which I could just really go for right now.
Yeah, it's been a long evening for us. Yeah, as the first pitch swung on a miss, going on 3 hours for this ball game. Started at 4 p.m. Has been entertaining, but after a while and after enough food commercials that we see, really starts to hit you, especially after we've made the Wendy's call to the bullpen a couple of times and seeing that Baconator commercial. We saw it a lot last season. And
a different commercial this year, but
Baconator last season
obviously you're not watching the commercials when you're in break, which is a good thing. You have other things to be doing.
Well, I mean, I just remember the Baconator last year.
Yeah.
It seemed like every time I saw it, and when I was on the air with Walker, he'd always be
always
like,
late in the
Baconator.
game. Yeah.
And so I'd have to go get a Baconator. So their advertising worked, as that pitch is hit right back up the middle, and rounding third, and coming in to score is Ellison, and we are tied in this ball game as Lynn University has stormed back for 5 runs in the last 1.2 innings against this Nighthawk bullpen. And what looked like a comfortable lead not too long ago is now a tie ball game here in the top of the 7th inning.
Yeah, I don't think there will be any lead comfortable at all this weekend for either one of these teams, as high-powered as both offenses are.
As it's Jonathan Corbett coming to the plate. 1 hit so far today, 1 for 4.
Combined 31 hits in this ball game, Thomas. 18 for the Fighting Knights and 13 for the Nighthawks.
Well, that must be why they have their nickname, because they haven't stopped fighting tonight. As both teams have got 11 runs on the board. And Nighthawks certainly not strangers to scoring double digits. So we've seen them score as many as 17. The final game against Carson Newman, the first series of the year, they scored 17 and 13, and the 13 on Saturday, 17 on Sunday. Then they scored another 14 in that midweek game against Southern Wesleyan. So they're used to being up this high, but not used to the other team scoring 11 runs on them. As it's a 2-0 count. That ball is hit down the left field line. It will get foul. Didn't have home run distance, but would have been trouble for Michael Gouch had it stayed fair. Although we have seen him make a very nice catch on the edge of the track in Game 2 of that Nova Southeastern Series. Came out of nowhere to make a catch to the right of that 365 sign in left center, as he was almost into Stephen Tomlinson territory with that catch. So a very good defensive left fielder with the glove. Yeah, it's a 2-1 on the way. Jones finds the outside corner for strike 2, and the count will run to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And we do want to acknowledge, we know we're having some video issues, some technical difficulties. We've tried to pinpoint the problem, but have not been able to, so we do apologize for that.
As the 2-2 is hit down to third, past a diving Gerhardt. Hoover able to dive and make the catch, but he's unable to get the throw away. And it'll be runners at first and second with 2 away. As Miguel Ceballos comes to the plate, already a home run so far in this game for the second baseman. His 4th home run of the year earlier on. Also a double for his efforts. Yeah, it's the first pitch from Jones. Breaking ball finds his zone for strike 1. And quickly an 0-1 count. And Jones ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And 0-2 missed, and that's going to be ball 1. Jones steering in, runners at first and second. The 1-2 on the way. Just barely tipped by Ceballos as Jones came back with a 1-2 breaking ball. Almost got Ceballos to swing and miss. But the count will remain a ball and 2 strikes as Jones trying to get out of this inning for the Nighthawks that has seen them relinquish their lead. They had an 11-8 lead coming into the inning, had an 11-6 lead heading into the top at 7th, and it has disappeared in a hurry. So 1-2 swung on and missed, and that's going to do it for the Fighting Knights in the top of the 8th inning. But the Nighthawks and Knights will be tied as we head to the bottom of the 8th here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
If you're looking to buy or sell your mountain home or cabin, lake or riverfront property, look no further than Walden and Company Realty. Work with some of the most knowledgeable agents around with Walden and Company Realty. For more information, visit waldenco.com.
I've been a loyal Clipper customer for years now. I can say this is the most exciting thing they've rolled out with in a while, the Clippers Fuel Savers card. Now I'm saving 10 cents at the pump every time. Thanks, Clipper.
Hickory Prime Barbecue is a proud sponsor of North Georgia Baseball. Hickory Prime offers multiple specials daily, including a barbecue pork sandwich, fries, and a drink for just $8. Winners of multiple national awards, the restaurant offers pork, chicken, beef brisket, ribs, and much, much more. Visit Hickory Prime Barbecue, open 7 days a week, just minutes from the Dahlonega campus of UNG off of Morrison Moore Parkway.
And back here to the bottom of the 8th inning, Enrique Perez, coming on and pitching to start the bottom of the 8th for Lynn University. Perez is a 6'3" righty, 220 junior out of Plainfield, Illinois in Lakeland College. He comes on and replaces Jonathan Wake. As you can go ahead and close the book on Wake. Good job out of the bullpen as Wake went 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, only 3 of them earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Faced 17 batters, gave up a double, a home run, and threw 70 pitches. Got 4 flyouts and 4 groundouts to go along with those 2 strikeouts. And it will be the top of the lineup due up for the Nighthawks, who are tied here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Scores tied at 11 runs, 19 hits, 1 error for Lynn University, or 11 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Nighthawks. Combined 22 runs and 32 hits in this ball game. Gearhart steps to the plate, 1 for 4 today. First pitch, fastball high from Perez, and the count will be 1 ball and no strikes. On deck for the Nighthawks, Connor Hoover, 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs today, as the shortstop has had a huge day for the Nighthawks.
Thomas Weir coming up on 300 pitches total in this ball game after we were very efficient through the first few innings, but really since about the 4th, this game is just dragged.
Yeah, I think it's both offenses trying to upset the rhythm of the pitchers. And was just thinking that as we started the inning, it seems like it started to drag because we were, it was kind of long innings, but they were high action innings. But since the 4th, the scoring has really slowed down for the Nighthawks. Only 4 runs from the 4th inning on, while Lynn has picked up 7. And Gearhart ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike here. 2-1 on the way. Fastball high. Count will run to 3 balls and a strike. And it will be Ellison who heads out. Talk to his new pitcher, Perez, who's quickly fallen behind 3-1 out of the bullpen. Facing a dangerous part of this Nighthawk order. After Gearhart, you have Hoover, Gouge, and Sams, who really been the big bats for the Nighthawks this season. All 2 through 4 hitters all came in hitting over 400. 6 home runs and 39 RBIs combined between the 3 of them. As the 3-1 finds the zone, and the count will be 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gearhart trying to get on for the Nighthawks, who gave up the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the 3-2 on the way, and that ball is hit in the air to right field. Yeah, and that ball will be caught by Shea as the roar went up from the dugout. Ball was hit hard, but was hit higher than it was farther. And that'll be out number 1. And now Connor Hoover will come to the plate, 4 for 4 as we mentioned. Does have a home run today and has driven in 2 RBIs.
Now batting for the Nighthawks, number 8, Connor Hoover.
Does have a double, a home run, and a couple of singles, so another one of those Nighthawks that is on the verge of hitting for the cycle as well.
Yeah, his average up to 486 now on the year.
So it jumped almost 70 points. That's really hard to do when your average is that high, but Hoover with a whale of a day today out of the 2-hole for the Nighthawks. Yeah, and the 1-0 on the way. That ball is hit high in the air, deep to right field, but it's going to stay in the park. Yeah, Shea back there to make the catch, and that's going to be out number 2 off the bat. Looked like it might have gone a little bit farther than it was, but
yeah, it looked really good off the bat. And then you look out and see Willie Shea out there and right, still a step off the warning track. Not really worried about it, had a good track on the ball.
yeah, and no wind out there right now to aid that ball. No. And once the sun goes down here, it gets a little bit cooler, so might have carried out earlier in the ball game, but seems like it died. As there are 2 away now for Michael Gouge. First pitch on the outside, off the outside corner for ball 1. And the 1-1 on the way outside. Ball 2. And it'll be a 2-0 count on the 3-hole hitter for the Nighthawks. 2-0 caught the outside corner. And so it'll be a 2-1 count on Gouge. 3-hole hitter today for the Nighthawks. One of the triumvirate of 400 hitters for the Nighthawks coming into this ball game. 2-1 on the way. Check swing. And down at first, they say he didn't go, so the count will run to 3 balls and a strike. Gouge 2 for 4 today. Comes in as the reigning Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week. Seeing his average climb 9 points to 438 with this evening tonight as the 3-1 over the outer third of the plate. And the count will run full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the 3-2 off the outside corner for ball 4. And Perez thought he had the call there, was pretty demonstrative on the mound. Not sure if he was yelling at himself or at the umpire.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with that call, and I don't blame him. It was 3-2. That's a call that you want as a pitcher, but he didn't get it.
I think it was a makeup call because there was I think it was a 2-0 pitch in that at bat. Ball was off the outside corner, and Gouge watched it go by, and it was called a strike. So perhaps a little bit of a makeup call there, but either way, Trevor Sam's going to come to the plate. Sam's 1 for 4 today with an RBI. First pitch on the outside corner for strike 1, and just about the same spot as that 3-2 pitch. So the Nighthawks with a little bit of life here in the bottom of the 8th, needing to answer badly, having given up the lead in the top of the 8th inning. Gouge on the move. The 0-1 double clutch by the catcher, Ellison, and allows Gouge to take second. And so the count will be no balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Sam's at the plate, but a runner Gouge now on second. Ellison will go out to talk to his pitcher. Enrique Perez came into this inning in relief of Cameron Wake. Yes, the Nighthawks with 2 fly balls from Gerhardt and Hoover to right or to the outfield. Were retired, and then Michael Gouge able to reach on a 3-2 walk, and the 0-2 to Sam's hit down to third. Curtis able to make the play. Gouge in his way, but Curtis able to make the throw to Corbett as Gouge was trying to throw off the third baseman, but that's going to do it for the Nighthawks in the 8th inning. We're tied at 11, headed to the top of the 9th here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
I am a brother.
I'm a freshman.
I am an artist.
I
am an entrepreneur.
I am a civilian.
I am a junior.
I am an ambassador.
I am a music teacher.
我是国际学生.
I am a commuter.
I'm an actor.
I am an intern.
I am a researcher.
I am a senior.
I am an athlete.
I am a veteran.
I am a sister.
I am a sophomore.
I am a singer. I am an educator.
I am a scientist.
I am a resident.
I am a writer.
I am a leader.
I am a cadet. I am a volunteer. I am a musician.
I am a tutor.
We are UNG.
All right, who ate all the jalapeno rolls? Sam?
No.
Irresistible new King's Hawaiian Jalapeno Rolls.
And back here for the top of the ninth inning.
The Fighting Knights, number 1, Alex Turner.
As it will be Jake Jones on the mound for the Nighthawks. We'll face a 9-1-2 in the order for Lynn University. First pitch strike. And the 0-1 is hit in the air, high and deep to center field. Tomlinson on his horse. He's going to watch this one get out of the ballpark. As Alex Turner with a leadoff solo home run to center, and Lynn University battled all the way back to take the lead here in the top of the ninth on an 0-1 fastball from Jones, and Turner absolutely scorched that one to center field. And the Fighting Knights with a 12-11 lead here in the top of the ninth inning.
Huge swing of momentum, Thomas, over the past 3 innings, and got to see how the Nighthawks handle this. Both in this game, and if UNG can't come back, how they'll handle this the rest of the series.
Yeah, the Nighthawks, of course, lost their first game of the series, or the first game of the season, in the third game of the series last weekend. Find themselves down in the top of the ninth as they've given up 6 runs in the last 2+ innings to this Lynn University team, who, to their credit, never went away, never got down after they were down 11-6 in the heading into the top of the 7th inning, kept battling away, and so here they are, 12-11, top of the ninth, as Michael Holder going to go out and have a discussion with Jones. And that hit the 20th of the ball game for Lynn University. As Jones now behind 2-0 in the count. Came in relief of Logan Burt in the top of the 8th and got an out. You can close the book on Burt. 1 inning, 2 hits, 3 runs, 3 earns, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Faced 6 batters through 30 pitches and induced a ground out to go with his 2 strikeouts. And so Jones, his job on the mound right now, just to keep this at a 12-11 lead. You still have 5, 6, 7 due up in your lineup. It's a 2-0, a breaking ball. Just below the letters on the inner part of the plate for strike number 1. A little bit of pop on that one too. Yeah, it's a 2-1. Fastball high for ball 3. And the count will move to 3 balls and a strike. So we mentioned 5, 6, 7 will be due up for the Nighthawks. Bell, Corbett, and Profit. 3-1 over the heart of the plate for strike 2. The count will run full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the 3-2 on the way. Fastball swung on and missed for out number 1. As Jones able to get the strikeout of the leadoff hitter Dorian. That's going to bring Willie Shea to the plate. Shea 0 for 4 today. One of only, well, the only hitter in the lineup to not pick up a hit for Lynn University today. As the first pitch from Jones misses for a ball. As the ball from the bullpen makes its way onto the field. And so the righty Shea back into the box. Looking at the lineup, the all right-handers until the 6-hole hitter, Roush, who is a switch hitter. As the 1-0 misses for ball 2, the count will run 2 balls and no strikes. And the 2-0 on the way. Fastball high for ball 3. And Jones once again to a 3-ball count for the second hitter in a row. This time it's 3 balls and no strikes. A couple of pitchers up in the North Georgia bullpen. One of those, number 29, Zach Verner. So 3-0 finds the plate. And the count runs at 3 balls and a strike. (3-1) finds the outside corner, counts full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And mentioned Dylan Peppers, a starter, only 2.2 innings today. In those 2.2 through 47 pitches, but Derek Pickfett, 71 pitches in 4 innings as the 3-2 misses outside and headed down to first Shea. Logan Burt, 30 pitches in his 1 inning of work, and Jake Jones, 26 pitches in his less than inning of work. So Nighthawk pitchers last 4 or 5 innings have not been economic, as it seems like Lynn University doing a better job of taking balls. As we have another pitching change, we'll be right back with the Wendy's call to the bullpen here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 Division II Baseball Championship, May 27th through June 3rd at the ballpark in Grand Prairie, Texas. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your seats today.
And Wendy's call to the bullpen. Answered by
Jack Fleming, sorry.
Nighthawk lefty Jack Fleming, sorry, couldn't get the number there. Sophomore
Sorry,
left-hander,
Thomas.
6'2", 205 out of Decula and Mill Creek High School. Fleming on the year, 2 appearances, 2 innings, 4.50 ERA, has given up 2 hits, 1 run. That run is earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts in those 2 innings. Coming in with a runner on first and 2 away. Yes, the 1 was hiding from me as we came back on the air, and so I saw the 8, and there wasn't an 8 that was a pitcher, so confused me there for a second. I thought it was Fleming coming out of the bullpen, but I wanted to confirm that.
Former press box staff here at baseball.
He'll face Jaron Pinckney. First pitch to Pinckney. Swung on and missed out a fastball that ran away from him. Count will be no balls and a strike. And Pinckney on the day, 1 for 2. He's been able to get on base other ways. Walks, hit by pitches, had a sac fly in the top of the first. Seems like it was ages ago. As it counts
Because
now,
it was.
no balls and 2 strikes. Been on the air now for over 3 hours.
Yep. About 3 hours, 20 minutes we've been on air.
As the 0-2 from Fleming swung on and missed, and so he's able to get a strikeout of the DH Pinckney, and that'll bring Tyler Curtis to the plate. Curtis 2 for 5 with an RBI. He's also struck out today. And so Fleming, instant success, able to come in and get a quick strikeout of Pinckney. And now we'll look to get Curtis as the Nighthawks want to get back into the dugout, having given up a solo home run to start this inning to the 9-hole hitter, Alex Turner. That home run was his first of the season, and it was a no-doubter as he hit it to the deepest part of the park. And Stephen Tomlinson gave it a look, but there was no chance that one was staying in the park. As the first pitch high and away for ball one. Count will be 1 ball and no strikes. Zach Verner continues to warm up in the North Georgia bullpen. As the 1-0 ran away from Curtis, outside for ball 2. And he's way ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. As it's Shea leading off at first. 0 for 1 on stolen base attempts this season, in case you're curious. Throw over from Fleming. Keeping an eye on him. So Nighthawks will have to come from behind in this one if they're to win. 2-0 on the way to Fleming. By Fleming, swung on and missed by Curtis. Fastball over the outside corner at the letters. Couldn't catch up to the fastball. The count will be 2 balls and a strike. Working from the third base side of the rubber. 2-1 pitch on the way from Fleming. Fastball, a lot of movement on it, but it runs off the outside corner for ball 3. And so Fleming behind 3-1 here. You have to be very careful. It's Curtis, only 1 homer, 4 RBIs, but he is the number 4 hitter in this lineup. The Nighthawks certainly don't want to give up any more runs, having already given up a home run in this inning. The 3-1 breaking ball looked like it handcuffed Perez. Still able to do a good job of holding on to that ball and got the strike call. As the count will now be full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Shea will be off with the pitch. As Perez and Fleming perhaps got their signs a little mixed up there. Perez out there to have a word with the lefty Fleming. And it'll be Curtis back into the box. Fleming stares in, gets a sign from Perez. Sets and delivers a 3-2 pitch. Fastball caught the inside corner for strike number 3, and that's going to do it for the Knights here in the top of the 9th inning. But a solo home run by Alex Turner to lead off the inning has given Lynn University the lead as we head to the bottom of the 9th. It's do or die time for the Nighthawks here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
J.R. Kriders is a proud sponsor of North Georgia Baseball. J.R. Kriders sells Southern Tide, Peach State Pride, and many more apparel brands. They also sell men's and women's clothing, as well as Costa sunglasses and accessories. J.R. Kriders is also home to the Yeti Lounge, where you can sit back and relax with snacks and drinks inside the store. Visit J.R. Kriders just off the square in beautiful Dahlonega, Georgia, or on the web at jrkriders.com.
I've been a loyal Clipper customer for years now. I can say this is the most exciting thing they've rolled out with in a while. The Clippers Fuel Savers card. Now I'm saving 10 cents at the pump every time. Thanks, Clipper.
If you're looking to buy or sell your mountain home or cabin, lake or riverfront property, look no further than Walden and Company Realty. Work with some of the most knowledgeable agents around with Walden and Company Realty. For more information, visit waldenco.com.
And bottom of the 9th inning here, as it is Enrique Perez who will continue to be on the mound for Lynn University. He'll face the 5, 6, 7 hitters in the Nighthawk lineup. Bell, Corbett, and Profit expected to come to the plate. Nighthawks down 12-11. gave up the lead in the top of the 8th inning as Lynn University was able to push across 3 runs to tie it up, and were able to take the lead in the top of the 9th on an Alex Turner solo home run, his first of the season. Bell into the box, first pitch high for ball 1. The count will run to a ball and no strikes. Bell is 0 for 3 today, seeing his average fall to 206. 1-0 on the way to Bell. Ball is fouled off over the press box. Count will run to a ball and a strike. Bell's a senior infielder out of Fairburn, Georgia, Langston Hughes High School, transfer from the University of Georgia. Experienced bat at the plate for the Nighthawks to start off this bottom of the 9th inning. 1-1 misses high for ball 2, 2-1. Would like to get Bell on here to start the inning. Of course, the Nighthawks only need a bloop and a blast to win this one. Just need a blast to tie it.
Let's do the bloop and the blast.
Like to see another hawk off. As the 2-1 is hit down to third. Play made by Curtis, throws across, and the ball is dropped at first by Corbett. And now Connor Corbett will come to the plate. It was lucky number 13 for the Nighthawks in Game 2 of that Nova Southeastern game. They hit a solo home run in the bottom of the 13th. If the Nighthawks can scratch across 2 in the bottom of the 9th here, it'll be lucky number 13, which makes its way to the forefront again, because it will take 13 runs for the Nighthawks to win this one. Connor Corbett comes to the plate. 2 home runs on the year, in case you're curious. Both of those in Game 2 of the Carson Newman series. As the first pitch to Corbett is popped up foul, and a nice catch. Oh, went off.
I think that hit off the backstop, yeah.
Hit off the backstop. Almost a nice catch by Ellison, as he was able to slide back there, but tried to fool the umpire behind the plate. He was having none out of it, and so the count will be no balls and a strike. It's Corbett trying to lay down the bunt there, popped it back to the screen, so he'll have another chance here. Not sure if Coach Cantrell will take off the bunt. As before the 0-1, Corbett squared around a bunt and throw over to check on Bell at first. So that was Enrique Perez checking on Bell, who's yet to attempt a steal so far this season. The 0-1 missed the outside corner, and the count will run to a ball and a strike. Corbett 0 for 2 on the day. He's reached on an error and has also reached on a walk.
2 walks today.
2 walks, excuse me. As that play at third was rolled an error on the third baseman on the throw. So the Nighthawks able to have a runner on thanks to an error, as the 1-1 is fouled over the stands down the first base side, and the count will run to a ball and 2 strikes. That was the second error of the ball game for Lynn University.
I believe the other one was on the third baseman as well, Tyler Curtis. It was earlier in the game when he botched, though.
It was. It was a ground ball over there that...
Hard hit ball, but one that was not a rocket by any means. Still should have came up with.
And Corbett behind the count, a ball and 2 strikes here. 1-2 on the way. Stayed high for ball 2. The count will run even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Josh Profit on deck. In the hole, Stephen Tomlinson, if it should get to him. Corbett will step back into the box. Right fielder looking to get Bell over to second at the worst. 2-2 on the way. That ball is hit high in the air, deep to left center field. And it's going to stay in the park as Turner is able to make the easy catch. As seems like as this ball game is dragged on, balls are just dying that look like they're hit pretty hard. As it looked like Corbett squared that one up pretty well, but didn't travel very far at all, as Turner, just a couple of steps to his right, was able to make the catch. And we'll now have a pinch hitter. Josh Profit will give way to Josh Peterson, senior infielder, 6'4", 220, out of Northeast Mississippi Community College. Peterson, one of 3 players who is vying for that DH spot, has appeared in 4 games, 3 of them as a starter, so only 1 pitch hit game. He has 2 for 11 on the year, no homers, an RBI, and has scored a run as well. Big guy in the left-handed side of the box, 6'4". As Tomlinson moves to the on-deck circle. And looks as if there's going to be a meeting at the mound. And there will be, waiting to see if there's a pitching change or not. Coach walked out there with the lineup card, and indeed there will be a pitching change. We'll tell you about it on the other side of this break here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 Division II Baseball Championship, May 27th through June 3rd at the ballpark in Grand Prairie, Texas. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your seats today.
And here in the bottom of the 9th inning, it's going to be number 16, Daniel Nuzzi, 5'11" righty, 190 junior out of Herkimer College. And here to tell you a little bit about him, Chad Haney.
Nuzzi 1-0 on the year. Thomas 2.70 ERA. Banners hitting 148 against him. 6 2/3 pitch this year. He's allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. 8 walks though, to no strikeouts, so something to watch there.
So doesn't give up a lot of hits, but also doesn't strike out a lot of people. And 6.2 innings and 8 walks.
Let me correct myself real quick. 8 strikeouts to no walks.
Oh.
My lines were a little off there, so a difference. Something to watch out on the flip side. As he has 8 strikeouts and 6.2 pitched.
Changes things a little bit. The 8 strikeouts and the 6.2, so power pitcher.
That means he's destined to have a walk at some point, so maybe it'll be right here.
Well, all it takes is 1 bad pitch and 1 good swing, and could see this ball game in. Peterson stepping into the box. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch low for ball 1, and the count will be 1-0 on the deck. Steven Tomlinson, who has had a great day for the Nighthawks. In the hole, Andres Perez, another good game for the freshman catcher. And Peterson back into the box. The count is 1-0.
Nuzzi does have 1 save this year to his credit.
Trying to get high pressure save here as Bell goes. Pitch is made, the catch, and he is out at second. As it was a good throw made by Ellison, but Coach Cantrell beside himself at third, as it looked like Bell got a great jump. And it looked like he had that one stolen, but called out at second, so that'll be the second out of the inning. And the count will be 2 balls and no strikes. 1-1. So a double whammy for the Nighthawks.
Exactly.
Count will be a ball and a strike with 2 outs. Peterson, the last hope for the Nighthawks in this ball game. Bell was cut down trying to steal second. 1-1 on the way. That ball's hit out to second.
That'll do it.
Ceballos charging, able to make the throw, and that's going to do it for the Nighthawks in this game. So Lynn University able to come back and win this one 12-11. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll have the Walden Realty post-game report here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Why do they call it a home-style breakfast?
I tell you what, I was in Steak and Shake in 1934 having a home-style breakfast. I told the cook, this is the same style breakfast that my mama makes at home. The cook turned around, and it was my mama. She said, that's the idea, dummy. Now get back here and wash these dishes.
A mother's love has no equal.
Huh?
Start your day with a delicious home-style breakfast, only at Steak and Shake.
I want everyone to rally behind such a great cause for Make-A-Wish. It's not just for us, and it's not just for the school. It's for the kids that we'll be helping. It's for them.
It's not just raising money for a charity. It's raising money to make this kid's dream come true.
I never, still to this day, would have thought that it would have touched me the way that it did that day. To truly say that it was a life-changing moment for myself is true. And I think it was for our program, our team, and our university. It was truly one of the most memorable experiences of my coaching career.
You really just see the community come together to make this event special and make it unique. And I think that's one thing that we like to try to brand ourselves with here at UNG is we're unique, and we like to do the special, small things that make children's lives and dreams come true.
The UNG Campus Connection is your university bookstore. It's the one-stop shop where students can get anything they need for the classroom, and fans can find everything they need to support the Nighthawks, from shirts and jackets to car decals and tailgating chairs. Gear up at the Nighthawks Nest with officially licensed UNG merchandise. Visit our stores in Dahlonega, Gainesville, Oconee, and Cumming, or check us out online at ungbookstore.com. The UNG Campus Connection is a proud sponsor of North Georgia Athletics.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 Division II Baseball Championship, May 27th through June 3rd at the ballpark in Grand Prairie, Texas. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your seats today.
This post-game report brought to you by Walden Realty. The Nighthawks lose a heartbreaker for their second loss of the season. They lose 12-11 to Lynn University. Nighthawks had an 11-6 lead heading into the top of the 7th, but Lynn able to rally and score the last 6 runs of the ball game. They were led at the plate by Patrick Dorian, leadoff hitter, 3 for 6, 2 runs. And also Carl Ellison, 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. And it was Alex Turner with the decisive hit, a solo home run to lead off the top of the 9th that saw the Nighthawks fall to 6-2 on the year. Lynn University moves to 6-3 on the year for the Nighthawks. At the plate is Connor Hoover, 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a solo home run. Stephen Tomlinson, 3 for 4 with 3 runs, 3 RBIs. Andres Perez had a 3-run home run. Getting the win today was Enrique Perez. He moves to 2-1 on the year. Loss goes to Jake Jones, moves to 0-1, save Daniel Nuzzi, his second on the year. Nighthawk baseball will be back in action tomorrow at 4 p.m. We won't have that game for you on here, but you can follow it on Live Stats. And we will have the final game of the series, Game 3, Sunday, scheduled right now for high noon. We'll hope that it will be the rubber game that will allow the Nighthawks to come back and win the series. We'll have doubleheader basketball action for you tomorrow on the Nighthawk Sports Network, starting at 1:30 as it's senior day. Men's and women's basketball action will be taking on Columbus State. The men will be looking to clinch the West Division for the first time in school history, so certainly something to tune in to, and then can hop back right over here on Sunday at noon and join us for the third game of the series between Lynn University and North Georgia. For all of us here at the Nighthawk Sports Network, Thomas Kendrick, Chad Haney, we say have a good evening, and we will talk to you later.